What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's time to talk fantasy football for week 7. We're going to answer your questions. If you have anything for your start sit, maybe some trade questions. Got a lot of trade questions yesterday. I feel like this is the time where a lot of these teams that are worried about where they are in the standing or not sure what to do are making moves. Look, maybe if you're at the top of the standings, maybe you're doing well, you can still make trades and improve your team. This is time to
Right.
take advantage of some buy low opportunities. It's never a bad time to trade, never a bad time to make some smart waiver wire moves. And so we're going to help you out with your questions. That's what we're doing. And talk NFL news. Nick Chubb, your guy, your guy's back. You've been waiting for this moment for all your life. No. Well, look, a lot of people are excited about Nick Chubb. What are some, dare I say, realistic expectations for Nick Chubb?
Realistic expectations, I think this week is just not to get hurt, honestly. Realistic expectations, go out there, touch the ball a few times, get hit a few times, and come out of the game healthy. I think that would be a win. I think that would be a win for Nick Chubb this week. Come out of this game healthy.
I imagine they give him a few carries. I don't know, 10 max. Do you think they go more than that? He's not going to all of a sudden just come in and be,
No.
it's Nick Chubb who carries the ball 28 times. I seriously doubt he comes even close to that.
Yeah, 10 feels like the ceiling. 10 feels like the ceiling here. They give him more than 10 carries, I'll be shocked. But you never know. But man, it would be crazy to just throw this guy out there 15 plus carries.
Yeah. Even an organization like the Browns, you'd think might make better decisions. Although these days, who knows?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. And again, I really don't think anybody should want any part of the Browns offense. But Jerome Ford is probably out because of that injury from last week. Nick Chubb is not going to get that much run. So Deontay Foreman, I think, is still the guy who's going to get the majority of the touches. But does that even matter?
Not for me. I mean, he got the majority of the touches last week because, I mean, what? Like Jerome Ford left in the first quarter, I think. What did he do with him? Nothing. He's this offensive. That's another thing. This offensive line is not very good right now. It's banged up. Yeah, I just don't want any Brown. I just don't want anybody on the Browns. No Browns.
Yeah, the offensive line, the quarterback situation, is interesting. Yesterday we talked Amari Cooper and Devontae Adams. That was the big story. And then Amari Cooper said something along the lines. I don't always remember the exact quote, but whether he was glad to be, Buffalo or out of Cleveland or whatever. He said something like, "Yeah, this definitely is a big motivator for me." Like, okay, so you admit you were dogging a little bit, or maybe you weren't exactly going all out. But I mean, you kind of can't blame him. I mean, what do you think
Right.
the vibe is right now in that locker room and that team? And like, yep, we're starting Deshaun Watson again. We're gonna roll him out there. He's our guy. I mean,
It can't be good. It can't be good, right? It's like going. It's like I saw a good analogy today. Somebody on Twitter was saying, like, look, if you worked in a really toxic environment where you didn't like any of your coworkers, and I'm sure Amari Cooper liked some of his teammates, but you know what I mean. If you worked in like a really toxic environment where you didn't like a lot of your coworkers, you're not going to go to work every day excited. You're not going to go to work every day and put forth your best effort. You just aren't. I mean, yeah, I know people say, "Oh, he's getting paid millions. It shouldn't matter." Like, right? Like, okay, so you get paid however much you get paid. You're allowed to dog it, but because he gets paid millions, he can't. Like, he's still a human being, right? We're still all humans, and like, you know what I mean. No matter how much you're getting paid, if you don't like where you're going, you're not going to put forth your best effort. So, yeah, it has to affect. It has to be having an effect for sure.
yeah, that's why it's real tricky to say. Oh well, okay, vacated targets. Jerry Judy has a chance. Like uh, David Njoku, somebody I think the other day, yesterday, probably in the stream was like David Njoku, to the moon. He's still in Cleveland. He still has Deshaun
Right.
Watson. Like this doesn't more targets isn't going to mean anything when they're all uncatchable targets. So
Exactly.
yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it will be interesting to see if Nick Chubb touches the ball much at all. But please let me just preempt this because it says Nick Chubb is back. And yes, Nick Chubb will be back. we're not starting Nick Chubb. If you ask a question, Nick Chubb or no, the answer is or. Whatever the or is, that's the answer.
Yes.
All right. So I want to just get that out of the way. I mean, you can still ask, but I'm just giving you the answer ahead of time. It's whoever isn't Nick Chubb starting. No trades today. Not that I know of. Any crazy trades happened today? They were all in one day. Like they just got them all out on Tuesday.
Yeah, no trades today, but we did have other big news. Well, maybe big news. Cooper Kupp might be back.
Now that's a little more interesting than the Nick Chubb thing. He was back, but it was limited, I think. Of course, it's still Wednesday. This is early in the week.
Right.
If Cooper Kupp does play in week 7, which is looking very possible, I mean, it's just you have to put him in your lineup pretty much. And on our start sit video, we're calling him a must start. I mean, is there any scenario where you're not starting Cooper Kupp? Is there any concern? Or you think that he just goes back to getting 15 targets?
I don't know if he'll go back to getting 15 targets, but there's no concern to me that he won't be the number 1 wide receiver here for the Rams and won't get a ton of targets. Yeah, I think if Cooper Kupp plays, you play him. Unless you're just stacked at wide receiver, then maybe it's like, okay, maybe you don't have to risk it with Cooper Kupp. But I think for 99% of us, if Cooper Kupp plays, we're playing Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. He's just going to have to be involved. I mean, the Rams really this week, I know it might be early to say make or break. For us, it's easy to declare whatever. But man, how far are the Rams from heading towards like the number 1 pick in the draft and just being out of it before it's even midseason? They're really not, because they've got holes on defense, struggling on offense because of the receiver injuries. Matt Stafford not getting any younger, so you really got to wonder what's going on here. But then on the other hand, they're facing the Raiders, who honestly, if I'm a Raiders fan, which I'm not these days, I actually used to be a Raiders fan, but if I'm a Raiders fan, I want them to tank. I'm like, look, what are we doing here? We already traded Davante Adams. We don't have a quarterback. Just tank it, get our guy, take Cam Ward with number 1 pick, and there, call it a
day. Yeah, I mean, they should tank, and I don't know if they're trying to tank, but they might not need to even try to tank because they're just that bad, to be honest. So,
yeah. That's funny because we say, "Oh, tank," and I think Antonio Pierce probably wants to win some games. They probably do. The players probably do kind of want to win once in a while, but some teams don't really need to try to tank. Like it might look like they're trying to lose. They probably don't need to do that. So yeah. All right. Anything else going on crazy today? I don't think so. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. It's practice day. We're going to start to get some slow drips of information about injuries. But again, don't overreact to early week injury reports. We're going to have to wait till Friday. And then Saturday is why we do our big start to say show on Saturday and then Sunday morning. But I don't think anything else crazy happened today, did it?
No, I mean, like you said, you got everybody's going to freak out because somebody was limited at practice today, or somebody, got a veteran rest day. But I think the only other big ones, I guess, maybe like TJ Hawkinson started practicing, Jonathan Brooks started practicing, Ricky Pearsall started practicing. So we could see those guys back soon.
There you go. But again, doesn't mean you have to rush out to start them. It takes time. A lot of players, when they're coming back, not just maybe not 100% game shape, but also there's re-injury risk. So just always, play it slow. You don't have to force a guy into your lineup. Again, don't start Nick Chubb this week. All right, I made that clear now. But you know what you should do, who you should put, what pick you should make? It's Bo Nix on Underdog, because it's a free pick. All right, 1 yard. All he needs is 1 yard. This may not be one of the highest scoring games of the week. In fact, I can almost guarantee you it will not be the highest scoring game of the week. If so, this would probably be the biggest shocker of the season. But I am very confident that Bo Nix will go higher than 0.5 total yards, and that could matter to you if you are signing up for Underdog in the very first time, because it's a free pick for you. Take the higher and 0.5 yards, Bo Nix, on Thursday night against the Saints, the crumbling New Orleans Saints team. Sorry, Juice. But just take the higher. That's basically a free pick for you, and then you can combine it with whatever pick you want. Good chance to win your very first pick on Underdog. But if you haven't tried Underdog and you're going to take this free pick and you're going to sign up, just make sure that you use code ENDGAME, because that gets you not only the freebie, but also the deposit match. 50% deposit match all the way up to $1,000 worth of bonus cash added to your account just for signing up. So just make sure you use code ENDGAME when you check out. Also need to remind you before we get to your questions here and answer them live on the stream, we are answering your questions off the air as well, because we have an app. It's called DraftLane. We've been doing it every day since the season started and before the season. It's not just for draft advice. It's start, sit, waiver wire, trade, rate my team, whatever you guys want to ask us. Football related, please, only. But anything on here that you want to know, just use that app. It's free to download from the App Store or the Google Play Store. You download that app, and then you can use it to ask your questions to us whenever you feel like. Let's get to your questions now. And all right, I know I kind of dogged his Saints, but let's help Juice 420.
All right.
Pick my lineup for week 7. 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a flex. Gibbs, Mason, Tank, Chase Brown, Garendo, and then got McConkey, QJ, Devontae Adams, Harrison, Juju, Watson, Kirk. Dobbs is on waivers. Interesting.
I think you got to roll with Gibbs. I think out of this group, if Mason plays, I'm playing him. I saw he was limited today, so that's a good sign, I think. I mean, I really don't think Harrison is going to play.
Yeah, I'm assuming he won't. We don't know. We know Devontae Adams is playing.
He's playing, but how much is he going to play? Like how many? Like 50% of the snaps, maybe 60. Oh man, Juice, how did we get here? I probably am flexing one of those running backs, either Chase Brown or Tank Bigsby. Honestly, if Etienne is out, I'll flex Tank. If not, I'll probably flex Chase Brown, and then I'll probably just suck it up with like Adams and McConkey, I guess, at wide receiver.
Well, you know what? Well, of course you know. I almost put Tank. I did have Tank initially as a boom, right? One of the guys I think could have a big week. And of course, I talked about him on the waiver wire video, which y'all know that. I think Tank could have a nice week, but it's just don't really know about Etienne. I don't think he plays, but it's still, it was a little risky, but I think he could have a big week. I did talk about McConkey. You guys will see when that one comes out on what, Friday, I think. So I like McConkey and I like Bigsby. I did see, although it could be just we don't want him to break again. Christian Watson is now questionable, or he was limited in practice too. I mean, are we already back there with him?
No, I think he'll be all right.
I don't know. I would go here. Gibbs, Mason, Tank, McConkey. Maybe Devontae. I don't know, because I don't think Harrison plays. I really don't want to play Juju. Maybe Watson. I don't know. Also, Stafford and May are on waivers. There we go. The Kyler hate continues. Are you going to play Matt Stafford or Drake May over Kyler?
No, I wouldn't. I'm still going with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I think you're okay with Kyler. I think May is an interesting streamer, but you don't have to sit Kyler. All right, Jay saw the start set. Good. Have Ingram and Laporta. No depth at running back. So trade Laporta for a running back. Yeah, but who?
Yeah, I would definitely trade Laporta for a running back while he has some value. Honestly, I'm very, very nervous for Sam Laporta right now. I'm trying to get away from this guy if I can, any chance I can. Who are you going to get for Sam Laporta right now? I mean, you could probably get a Jacobs. You might be able to get a James Cook, who didn't play last week with injury. This is
realistically.
Yeah.
Jacobs. If you can get Jacobs, I think that would be nice.
Yeah. Maybe Aaron Jones. Maybe again, like a Brian Robinson who missed last week with injury. You know, people always like, he's hurt.
Yeah.
Guys like that. Maybe Tony Pollard, who I feel like even though he's been good, I still don't feel like people value him very highly. Those would be the guys I'd be trying to get.
There you go. Yeah. So should you? Yes, definitely. Anthony Maldonado. All right. He was first. Look, okay. I know I just said I like Tank Bigsby, but I'm starting Breece Hall.
Yeah, you can't bench Breece Hall.
What about Garrett Wilson now sharing targets with Devontae or Brian Thomas?
I still got to go Garrett Wilson. I don't think Devontae Adams is going to come in and just get, a ton of targets here. Like, I'm going to play a ton of snaps and get a ton of targets right off the gate. Like, so I'm still going to go Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson is still very startable. It's not a great matchup against the Steelers. It's not great, but he's still very startable. I mean, Brian Thomas, it's not like it's a smash spot for him too. So I'll go Garrett Wilson. All right, let's continue with the Jets talk. Other John wants to know, are you going to Aaron Rodgers now with a new weapon or Caleb Williams? Rest of the season.
Yeah, why do I have to pick one? Why can't I just play matchups between these guys? Because that's what I'd want to do, just play matchups. Who has a better matchup this week? I don't know if there's going to be, because that's the thing. Like Caleb Williams, yeah, he's been great the last couple of games, but those are great matchups. When he's going to be in tougher matchups, you might not want to start Caleb Williams. So I don't know. I mean, I guess if I had to pick one, I would pick Caleb, but I feel like that might be recency bias. I'd rather just be able to stream these guys.
All right. I mean, that would be ideal. I'm thinking, it's a little early to look at schedule, but that might be the tiebreaker here. Who do you think is going to help you down the stretch the most? Because we're talking rest of the season. It's already week 7, so I think it's fair. But I haven't looked at the schedule. Okay, so the Jets, after their bye in week 12, get the Seahawks, Dolphins, Jags, and Rams. That's a really good schedule against those bad pass defenses. So there's that. And obviously he got Devontae Adams right now. I'll tell you what, before the season, I definitely like Caleb Williams better. And I still like Caleb Williams. So I want to say Caleb Williams, but let's look at the schedule just to make sure there's nothing let's see. So week 13 on, Caleb Williams gets at Detroit, at San Francisco, at Minnesota, and then at home against Detroit and Seattle. Mixed bag there. Mixed bag. I still want to say Caleb Williams, so I'm going to say Caleb Williams. But Rodgers actually does have a pretty nice schedule now that I look at it. All right, Humberto. 12-team, PPR, Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Adams, Downs, Gabe Davis. Is that you? Aaron Jones, Gibbs, CMC, Jonathan Brooks, Tyjae Spears, Kelsey. Streaming QB. There you go.
Okay. Are we setting the lineup here? What are we doing?
Okay. Goff, Stafford, Lawrence, or Cousins?
I think I'm going Cousins here. Let me look. I'm going Cousins, Seahawks, Goff, Vikings. I think
one of those.
Cousins. I think Cousins. It's between him and Goff. I think I'm going Cousins.
It's definitely either Goff or Cousins. I've been talking up that Detroit Minnesota game. I think it could be very high scoring. The only thing with the Lions is they can score a lot, and Goff doesn't have a big game because they ran in 3 touchdowns or whatever.
Right.
But Minnesota is definitely more of like a pass funnel defense. So I think it could be a nice Goff game. The question is it going to be a better Cousins game? Cousins, what is it against the Seahawks?
Yeah.
It's close, right? Goff, Cousins, Cousins, Goff. I guess Cousins is at Cousins is at home. Goff is on the road. Maybe that's a tiebreaker here. Go Cousins.
Yeah, it's close between those guys. I'll slightly lean Cousins.
All right. TTV Phoenix 24. Start Burrow or Baker?
I think you got to go Baker against the Ravens. I know Burrow's been really good, but so is Baker, and that Ravens secondary. This could be a shootout. I think you got to go Baker this week.
Yep. Gonna go Baker. I want a piece of that matchup any way I can get it. Go Baker. Oh, I got some interesting ones. This is too interesting to pass up. We'll get to the super chats. Brian Furman. George Pickens. Maybe with a new quarterback. Who knows?
Maybe.
Or Lad McConkey.
I mean, Pickens does get the Jets. Can I really start McConkey over Pickens?
You did express yesterday, I believe it was last night, a little discontent with George Pickens. You're just like done. Don't want to think about it.
Yeah, that's true. And now I'm thinking about it. Man,
This push you over the edge. Brian he's saying he likes Lad. He's leaning Lad. I like Lad too. I like his matchup. I just said I did talk about him on video that's gonna come out. We pick our booms. I think even as much of a Pickens stan as I am, I think I'm gonna go Lad.
I mean, if you're leaning Lad, just go Lad. It's not like I'm obviously over here. It's obviously close for me, so go Lad. If you're leaning Lad, just go Lad.
Lad it is. Michael Cazares. Let's save you the worry about what's Pickens gonna do, the aggravation. All right, Michael wants to know: would you trade Stevenson and Bucky to get Puka?
I don't know. I don't think I would, honestly, just because it's not sounding like we're going to see Puka anytime soon. Like, if Puka was healthy, of course I'd say yes, take this. But man, what if we don't see Puka for like another month or more? I'd probably just keep Stevenson and Bucky. Honestly, I'm a little nervous about Puka right now.
Yeah, the thing is, we haven't heard. At least I haven't heard anything new, like super encouraging. Like, he's on his way back. He's looking great. I haven't heard anything like that. All I've heard is that, yeah, he's definitely not coming back before week 8. And, it is concerning. So there might be a buy low opportunity, but yeah, I don't think now is the time. I'm going to wait until at least another week or so, if even. All right, Samantha Pfluger, welcome back. 10 team. It's PPR league, 1 quarterback, 2 receiver, 2 running back, and a flex into defense. Purdy, Stroud, Debo, Juju, Shakir, Sutton, Bigsby, Madison, Tucker, Stevenson. 2 defenses. Okay, so I guess we're picking 1 quarterback, Stroud or Purdy.
Another close one here. I'm going to give Stroud the slight edge against the Packers. It's close. That's a close one for sure. 2 wide receivers are going to be Debo and I guess Juju. Wow. Debo and Juju, I guess. 2 running backs are going to be Stevenson if he plays. Bigsby. I guess I'm flexing Madison here.
No interest in Cortland Sutton.
I mean, he's fine. Sutton's fine. I guess. Like, what are we really getting from Sutton against the Saints? I know they've been bad lately, but I don't know. Sutton, Juju, Sutton. I kind of want the guy catching passes from Mahomes, not the guy catching passes from Bo Nix.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I'm thinking I would, if I had to flex one of these guys, I think I would flex Sutton over Madison. Um, Man, this is a 10-team league. Wow.
Yeah, how did we get here,
No
Samantha?
offense.
How did we get here?
No, no offense. I mean, yeah, got Nico and IR. Okay, that hurts. Swift is on bye. Okay, but still need some better receivers here. Wait.
Yeah, I guess you could flex Sutton. It's PPR. Well, don't flex Sutton. Put Sutton as your wide receiver 2 and flex Juju or Debo, but because he plays Thursday night. Yeah. Good luck, Samantha.
Luck. Vinny needs some luck. It's a 10-teamer, 1 in 5. Somehow lost 3 games by less than 3 points. Okay.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's fun. Here's the starting lineup: Murray, Godwin, Pickens, Mason, Hall, Kincaid, DeMario, and then on the bench there's Sutton, there's Pittman, and there's Waddle, and those 2 guys who you're not playing.
Yeah, I think your lineup's good. I mean, I don't know what you're gonna do. What are you gonna do if Mason is out? I assume you have another running back. I hope you have another running back because I don't see one.
Yeah, I don't see one, but I guess you'd have to stream. I mean, look, it's a 10-teamer. You could, I guess, pick up Garendo because he should be out there. If Mason's completely
he's probably out there.
Yeah. But the receivers, I guess, are fine for now. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm debating Pittman or Pickens.
Yeah, actually, I just thought that you could sit Pickens. It's not a bad spot for Pittman. All right, Pittman over Pickens.
Yeah, even with Anthony Richardson, I might do that.
There you go. All right, good luck, Vinny. Rahul wants to know whether Baker or Purdy can go over Kyler. This is rest of season. This week, I'd say, yeah, you can go Baker. But what do you think rest of season?
I mean, at this point, why not? He's been better. Why not? I'm not dropping Kyler to pick up Baker, but if you have Baker or Kyler, I would just keep starting Baker. Why not? Why not?
Well, he says would give up Juju for Baker. So you want to trade for Baker Mayfield? I mean, since it's Juju who you just picked off waivers, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, I'm okay trading Juju for Baker. I usually don't want to trade for a QB, but I'll trade Juju. Sure.
Right. All right. Yeah, so you can do that. LEJ end with Shaheed. Well, okay, so Shaheed, I guess we didn't really discuss this too much. Shaheed is going to get surgery. He hasn't been officially declared out for the season or on IR, but it looks like he's headed at least for IR.
Yeah, it's going to come down to it's the same thing that JJ McCarthy had. It's going to come down to, is it a full? Does he need a full repair or just I think they say just a trim? If it's full repair, season over, which is pretty brutal because this was a guy that really was looking like one of those late round league winning wide receivers. Yeah, who I had a lot of in best ball and talked up a lot all off season, but injuries are the great equalizer. So yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, especially in best ball. He was great so far. Okay, so with Shaheed out and Carr coming back, assuming that's a good thing. No, you probably should not have dropped Olave. So
if Rashid Shaheed was playing the whole year, I would not drop Chris Olave. Why are you dropping Chris Olave? Go pick Chris Olave back up.
Yes, definitely pick him up. All right, we have Wes B. Trade Pollard and Devontae Smith for Lamb and Mooney.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Does this come down to need? I mean, trading away a running back to get a receiver?
No, it comes down. Really, what's coming down to me for like is Mooney enough of a replacement to get Lamb, and I think he is. I think I'm gonna take Lamb here. I know Pollard's been good, and I know we really like Devonta Smith, but you're getting a stud wide receiver, and Mooney's been pretty good. I think I'm taking the Lamb Mooney side here.
I think I would take that too. Again, we don't know your team needs, but if you're trading away Pollard, you must not need Pollard. I think it's enough. I mean, I like Devontae Smith, but I still prefer CD Lamb, so I think this is good. Cody Greenwood is in the house again. League mate willing to trade Tyreek for Monty. You got HN, Cook, Brees, and Kyron. Could you take Tyreek for Monty?
Yeah, just get Tyreek here. You have HN, Cook, Brees, and Kyron. Also CMC potentially coming back.
CMC.
Yeah, get Tyreek.
Yeah, definitely do this. All right, we got Dale. Another Kyler question. I sense the theme. Kyler, Geno, or Drake May?
I'm still going Kyler here. Geno hasn't even been that good. He's put up yards but no touchdowns, and it's not like Drake May lit it up last week. I know he gets Jacksonville this week, but he's still making his second career start here. I'm going Kyler.
Yeah, Drake May is an interesting streaming option if you need one. I know everybody's like disgusted with Kyler. Right? It's 2 straight weeks. It's been bad. I get it. It's not like he's okay. I will say this also. There's more reason to be concerned because Marvin Harrison Jr. is probably not going to play. But that could lead to Kyler Murray just running more out of necessity. They could have more design runs for him. He's still fine. I definitely would go him over Geno. Drake May is like, I don't know. This just feels a little bit too extreme. All right, and Cody also, this is Cody Greenwood again, got a gift because Pat Mahomes was just sitting on waivers, but wants to trade him for a better QB. I mean, are you getting Hurts, Burrow, Stroud, Purdy? Is Purdy really like significantly better? I don't think so.
Yeah, you might get Purdy, but I don't even know if Purdy's an upgrade. I don't think you're getting those other guys because it's not like there's a reason Mahomes is on the waiver wire. It's not because Mahomes has been like going off. So I don't think anybody's super excited about trading for Patrick Mahomes right now. You could try. You never know. You could try, but I'd be shocked if you get one of those first 3 guys for Mahomes.
Right. Will Davies, it's a 10 standard. QBs are Caleb and Kyler. Was offered Daniels for Godwin, DK, or McLaurin.
Nah. I'm not trading one of those stud wide receivers for a QB. Nope. No way.
Yeah. Don't do it. Caleb Williams, I think obviously this week you got to go Kyler, and everybody hates it, but it's good enough. Short season, Debo or Reed this week?
Good question. I almost put Debo on the booms. It's between him and another wide receiver that I did put on the booms. But I think I'm going to go Jaden Reed this week. Got a good matchup.
Yep.
Against Green Bay. I'm going to go Jaden Reed, but I do like Debo.
The thing is, when it's 49ers receiver versus anyone, you're like, well, He could have a big week or he could not. It's all or nothing, right? Debo, Ayuk, whatever. I just don't think it's a great matchup against the Chiefs. I do like Jaden Reed this week, so I agree. I agree with Jaden Reed. All right, Sammy, good evening. Looking, as we all are, for the diamond in the rough. But yeah, there's always a reason why they're rough. Needs to start too. Mason Downs, Jacoby Juju.
I do like Jacoby. I thought he was back at practice today, but then they just listed him as did not practice on the practice report. But Antonio Pierce said he's optimistic will play, so we'll see, hopefully. But I think it still has to be those first two if they play. If Mason doesn't play, I would put Jacoby next. But I think if Mason plays, you got to go him, and I think you still got to go Downs. I think it's Mason and Downs. And then if Mason doesn't play, I would go to Jacoby, assuming he plays, of course. If he doesn't play, well, then you know what you're doing.
Yeah. I like Downs again. I feel like we're talking almost a little too much about him, but if we hadn't already just put him on last week for a boom, I might do it again. He's in a great spot against a very suspect Dolphins defense. He's getting the target share. I mean, this could be another good game for him. So I'm going to say yes to Downs. And then I agree. If Mason is good to go, you still want to start Mason. And if not, go Jacoby. Moises. Nice and early as always. Hello. 12-team PPR needs a running back, tight end, 2 receivers, no flex. Neighbors, Monty, B-Rob, T. Higgins, Jacoby, Brian Thomas, Garrett Wilson, Downs, Kraft. Okay. Well, a lot of choices here. Kraft or pick up Ertz?
Not a good spot for Kraft this week. Ertz gets the Panthers.
Ertz does get the Panthers.
But I mean, what's the upside for Ertz? Like Ertz won't kill you, right? He'll get you some points, but what's the upside?
Yeah, it would be like, okay, well, Ertz can get me like 10. And Kraft, might get me like 3 or 4, or he could score a touchdown and get me 10, like 12.
Well, you put it that way, you might as well go Ertz.
That's what I'm thinking. I might as well go Ertz.
All right, just go Ertz. He's in a good spot. I think you got to go Neighbors. It sounds like Neighbors is trending to play in this week, so I'm going to go Neighbors and Higgins at wide receiver. Oh, man.
That gets tough.
I was thinking like, oh, it's not a big deal because I'll just play one and flex the other. But then you got Garrett Wilson, you got Downs.
Right.
But I might still just go the 2 running backs, even though it is a tough matchup for Monty. It's always got touchdown upside. I think you got to play Brian Robinson if he plays. It's such a good. I mean, he gets Panthers. Like you got to start him.
Right. Yeah. I mean, of course, Neighbors if he plays. T. Higgins. I know I just talked up Josh Downs, but not here. Not with this group. I really like Brian Robinson this week. So is it Monty? Monty, I don't think he smashes this week because it's a tough Minnesota run defense. So I'm wondering, do I go Garrett Wilson? But Garrett Wilson's not in a great spot. That's my debate. Just the flex is the only one.
Yep.
And Monty always has touchdown upside. So, yeah. I guess we'll just say Monty. And another league. 10-teamer. Please pick 2 and a flex. Monty and Gibbs. Aaron Jones. Bigsby. Neighbors again. Hill, Douglas, Mason, Deontay.
All right, I think you got to go Neighbors and Deontay at wide receiver. I'm going to go Monty Gibbs at running back. Not sure about Aaron Jones. He said today when they asked him if he's going to play, he even said, I'm not sure. I think it's between Mason and Douglas for me at the flex. I think it'll come down to if Mason plays, I'm still going Mason, but if not, I'll go Douglas at the flex.
Yep, agree. Mason should still be a strong start if he's healthy, so we're just going to have to monitor here. Still in it. That's what we want to see. All right, Abamanu. in a 12-team, rank below for waivers. All right. Bigsby, Dearness Johnson, Ray Davis, Raheem Mostert, Tyrone Tracy, and Tyler Goodson. This is week 7, folks.
All right. He said, assuming that the lead running backs are out. So I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Tracy number 1, Davis number 2, Tank number 3, and I guess Mostert 4. And do I really need to keep going past that? I mean, are you picking all these guys up?
Yeah. No. I think if we're assuming Singletary is completely out, I think Tracy has to be your top pick, right? He has to be. He's been too good. And then I'm going to go Tank number 2. I do think Etienne will be out. I don't think Singletary will be, but you never know. Didn't think it would be last week. So I would go Tracy, Bigsby, Davis, and then who cares? Abimanu also wants to know Ingram or Laporta.
Oh, it's definitely Ingram for me. I think it's time we have a hard look at Laporta and really ask ourselves, what are we doing here? This guy has a 9.2% target share this year. He caught that pass for 52 yards for a touchdown last week. It was his only target. That's it. That was the only target he got in the whole game. It's Ingram easily here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, how can you look at a guy like you said you had that touchdown. He had that 1 catch versus Ingram had 10 catches? I mean, you have to throw name value, draft status, whatever out the window. Who's getting more, not just production, because we can't really say that because Ingram just came back after missing most of the season, but just who's getting the opportunities. And so, yep.
The Lions just don't need Laporta this year. Jamison Williams has stepped up. They have other wide receivers stepping up. They've got a great run. They just don't need him this year. They don't need him.
That's exactly it. Yeah, maybe they'll pass more. I mean, I do think they will pass the ball more this week, but I don't think it means Laporta feasts necessarily because they have other guys. All right, here we go. It's time. All balls has a question. Standard. Flex, down, Reek, Pop, Dobbs.
Standard. In standard, I think I still go Downs here. I think he'll get the most targets. It's not like he doesn't get any yards. It's not like he can't score. Dobbs certainly more interesting in standard scoring, but I mean, what are you really getting from Dobbs if he doesn't score? I think I'm still going Downs here.
I like Downs enough. He does have touchdown upside. Yeah, you know what? PPR halves. Either way, I'm going to go Downs here, no matter what. Dustin Forsberg. 12 team starts it. Achane, Madison, Juju, Downs, Pop. I love it. This always makes people, they're watching the videos because all the players that were on the waiver wire video are on these rosters, and you guys don't have the players that we say to trade away and to drop. So that's a good sign. Jonnu Smith, too. All right. Mostert, Hopkins, Ville. All right. Addison is on waivers, but Devon Ville is not. How does that happen?
Because Devon Ville is on his team. I would drop Devon Ville. Come on. I know Devon Ville was okay last week, but is anybody, Dustin is rushing out to pick up Devon Ville, I guess, but is anybody in your league really rushing out to pick up Devon Ville? Like, if Addison is on waiver wire, no one is going to, how is Addison on waiver wire? Go get Addison. You can drop Ville.
Yeah. Ville is a sneaky ad. Is a nice depth addition, but I'd rather have Addison. And I would say Mostert, you probably should hold on to him because you do have Achane. I think that's fine because you don't have a ton of running backs here. It says start sit. I mean, we're just picking from this group then? Like what, 2, 2, and 1?
Okay. Man, I'm going Achane, definitely. I don't know if I want to go Mostert over. I know it's a good matchup for these running backs, but I mean, Madison gets a great matchup this week too, and he gets all touches. I think I'm going Achane Mostert. I mean, Madison, sorry. Downs, Douglas. And if you need a flex, I guess I'll flex Juju. I'm not starting Hopkins. I'm not doing it. Although if you pick up Addison, I'll probably flex Addison, actually.
Well, yeah. Look, if you are able to pick up Addison, I'm starting Addison. I like Addison this week, actually quite a bit. Man, I almost wonder if you should drop Hopkins instead of Valet. I wonder. But anyways, yeah. Let's move on from that. Royland. What's up, Royland?
What's up?
PPR, running back, receiver, and a flex. Bigsby, Tracy, Bucky, Pittman, Worthy, Wicks. You're welcome. All right, running back is...
I mean, this is one that's really going to come down to Sunday. Because if Singletary is out, it's Tracy.
Right.
If Etienne is out and Singletary plays, it's Bigsby.
Yep.
If Etienne and Singletary play, it probably is going to be Bucky. So this is one I can't really answer yet, unfortunately. So you can come back and join us on Saturday or Sunday and ask this question again. As far as a flex, I got to go Pittman on these wide receivers. Worthy, like, come on. Like, okay, sure. Every so often, Worthy's going to hit a big touchdown or run in a random touchdown, but that's it, right? Wicks, yeah, that Wicks is going to be one of those guys we look back on and be like, oh, yeah, he's one of those guys. You missed the big game and then you pick them up, right? It happens every year, multiple times a year. The guy has a big game. Everybody runs out, picks him up. You missed the big game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Pittman.
There's no retroactive accumulation of points. So
it's like Juwan Jennings, right?
Yeah.
Like you missed the big. Unfortunately, nobody had Juwan Jennings on their roster when he had the big game. We all missed it.
Nope. Yeah, Pittman is still the receiver here. Look, for running back, what I would say is I would put Bigsby in your lineup right now, and then if we hear that Singletary is out, completely out, then I just switch it to Tracy. So there's the running back. The receiver is Pittman, and then who's the flex? Worthy or the other running back?
Again, if Singletary and Etienne are out, yeah, I'll play those two running backs. If Singletary and Rashad White are out or Etienne, like any two, yeah. So I mean, really, it's gonna come down to those running backs.
All right, there we go. How about 9-ball Bori? This is a 12-team full PPR league. Starters got Lamar, Kyron, Bigsby, Brown, Neighbors, Evans, Pitts, the Rams. Benches Worthy, Demario, Rome, Moss, Chase Brown, Braylon Allen, 1 and 5. Okay. What can we do? Well, let me just say this. I know not having Neighbors for the last two, not having A.J. Brown for those couple of games, that hurts you, obviously. But you have really good receivers, at least starting receivers.
I know. You got you got Lamar, you got Kyron, you got Neighbors, you got A.J. Brown, Evans.
I don't know about Bigsby's
the Rams
starter here.
What's that?
The Rams defense. Yeah. I think the fact that Bigsby's in the starting lineup makes me think either you had somebody that you dropped because, out of disgust, or somebody that is hurt, like a Pacheco or something. So,
right. But you still have a good team here. I don't understand how this team is 1 and 5. I mean, okay, you didn't have A.J. Brown for 4 games and you missed, but still, I really wonder how this team is 1 and 5. I'm wondering how much of this is bad luck. Because you don't have a bad team here at all. I mean, maybe the Rams defense has probably been killing you. I mean, I was going to say, are you a Rams fan? But you got the Vikings. I guess you're playing the Rams this week because it's the Raiders. So I guess it's okay this week. Hopefully you haven't had the Rams all week. Unfortunately, as a Vikings fan, you didn't pick up your defense because they've been rolling. I don't really know what you could do. I mean, I guess you could try to sell high on a guy like Bigsby, but what are you going to trade Bigsby for a better running back? No. I don't think the combination of
Yeah.
Bigsby to Mario Douglas is getting you anything.
Yeah, that's the problem is, hate to say the bench players don't really have trade value right now. So you might need to roll with this team this week and hope for the best and then see if there's somebody whose value gets elevated.
Yeah, I feel like this team should have a very good chance to win on any given week. I mean, you got a stud QB, you got a stud running back, you have 3 stud wide receivers. Your tight end is good enough. Your RB2 is good enough. Like, I feel like this team should be a contender to win every single week.
Yeah, like I think if Neighbors is good to go this week, you should have a big week. Let's hope that comes through. Now Clark London doesn't need any help. He's 6-0. Clark Landon, sorry. Clark. Good job, Clark. Paul P. 5-1. That's pretty good. All right, got offered Higgins and Hurts for Evans, Mostert, Dowdle. If you got offered the Higgins and Hurts side, I think I'm taking the Higgins Hurts side.
Yeah, because I feel like Higgins is good enough for Evans and Mostert, Dowdle, like whatever. Give me Hurts.
Yeah. Then you don't have to worry about AR. Just playing, being healthy. You got Hurts, and then you're pretty good here. Yeah, you shouldn't have to start Mostert or Dowdle. You got Henry and you got Monty. You're good enough. Yeah, take it. Zach of Trades. Traded, fittingly enough, traded Monty and Devontae for Brees and Marv.
Yeah, I think this is good for you. You're getting Brees. That's great. I mean, it's going to come down to Marvin Harrison, right? Like, when does he play and how good is he going to be in the second half of the season here? But, I mean, just the fact that you got Brees and Harrison should be good enough. I think this is a win for you.
Yeah, of course, it's going to come down to, Harrison. Is it going to be Maserati Marv or Mitsubishi Marv? We'll see. I think it's worth doing, though. Which, actually, let's go back to Clark Landon. If Marv does play this week, could you start Jacoby Myers over him? Because I know you like Jacoby Myers this week.
I do like Jacoby Myers, but I don't think I could put him in over Marvin Harrison this week. Both these guys, not locks to play either. So you'll have to watch and see.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you'll have this decision. I'm gonna guess with a rookie, they're gonna probably play it safe. I mean, of course, I don't know. So again, I would stick Myers in there and then hope he's good to go, and probably just gonna have to go with Jacoby.
Now that I look at it, I might actually go Myers. It's not a great spot for Harrison this week. Chargers, I know they're banged up in that secondary, but Harrison's been way better against man than zone coverage this year. Chargers play a lot of zone. I might just go Jacoby, honestly, if they both play.
Yeah, I think you're fine with Jacoby. What about Boole, man? All right, which Cooper do you like better, Kupp or Amari?
I think I still got to go Kupp. Like we know Kupp will be good in this Rams offense when he plays. Well, let's see Cooper. I would take Kupp.
Yeah, I mean, if you traded Kupp to get Amari, yeah, I don't think it's a win. It might not be a loss. I mean, again, we're just going to assume Cooper Kupp comes back and doesn't get hurt again, right? So assuming Kupp actually plays the rest of the season, I'm going to prefer Kupp, but I don't think it's necessarily a big loss. Zachary Savoy, Amari, Zay, or Stephon Diggs. You can only pick two.
I'm going to bench Amari here. I feel good enough about Zay and Diggs this week that I don't need to risk Amari. I mean, even Amari said, like, his quote today was something like, I don't remember the exact word he used, but something like, oh, I've never joined a team and then played a game 5 days later. He used different verbiage than that, but something to that effect. But then he did say, but he thinks he's cerebral enough to learn most of the playbook. But again, that's the thing with him, and that's going to be this thing with Adams too, is like, they're not going to know the full playbook. There's going to be plays where they're not going to be on the field because they don't know the plays. And you can't have them out there running the wrong routes or, missing assignments. So let's just not risk it with Amari this week. Zay and Stephon Diggs should be good enough.
Exactly. You have two really good receivers. Why even worry about what Amari may or may not do? So Zay and Stephon. And then Hams, most upside and safest. Okay. Pickens. Well, I know who isn't the safest here. Pickens, Sutton, Juju.
This is like asking, what is this like asking? Like, what's the highest performing car, but also the most economical? Like, I want the fast. I want the car to go 0 to 60 the fastest, but I also want the car that gets the best gas mileage. It's like, well, that's not how this works. You don't get both. You get one or the other. What do you want?
No middle of the road. It's one extreme or the other.
Maybe Ham's my fault. Maybe you're asking two questions. Maybe this is two separate questions. Like, give me the guy with the most upside and give me the guy with the most safest.
Yeah, I assume he doesn't mean it's the same guy because it can't be. But
all right.
Pickens is definitely not the safest.
No, Sutton is well. Yeah, Sutton probably the safest. I think Sutton's still slightly safer than Juju.
Yeah.
Pickens the most upside.
Hypothetically.
Yes.
We've been told he has massive upside. Look, he
True.
had one big game, one decent game. But I do think technically he has the most upside. And yeah, Sutton's are safest. Jake the Snake. May or Darnold?
I'm going Darnold. He gets a good matchup at home against that Lions secondary, that Lions pass funnel defense. I'm going Darnold.
Going Darnold. I mean, I mentioned both on the waiver wire video, but I said Darnold's my favorite streamer. May for a super flex or like desperation streamer because Darnold isn't available. So definitely Darnold. Downs or Douglas?
I do like Douglas this week, but I still got to go Downs here.
Yeah. They're both in great spots, but still Downs. J.R. Fuentes in a 10-team PPR league was offered Cup and Spears for Ayuk and Connor. And he has K9, Kyron, Hunt, Bucky, Hill, Godwin, Wandale, and Douglas. Should he take it?
Essentially, this is Cup for Ayuk and Connor. I mean, Spears a little something, but not really. Like, you're not going to start Spears, right? Probably not. So really, it's like Ayuk and Connor for Cup. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, part of me wants to just take Cup so I don't have to deal with Ayuk anymore, but at the same time, you're giving up what should be a high-end wide receiver and a high-end running back. I don't know. I probably just stick with. Well, I don't know which side you're getting here, but I probably favor the Ayuk Connor side.
Yeah, and I would say maybe if that Spears was something a little better, maybe. But yeah, I feel it's a bit much for Cup because there is some risk with Cup. I mean, look, this could wind up as a good deal, but yeah, it feels like that Ayuk Connor side is weighing a little heavier here.
Right.
Cornelius Terry. No one is worried about Dameon Pierce. Worried in what sense? Worried, concerned that Houston will give him goal line touches instead of Mixon? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that at all.
No, I don't. I mean, is there? I'm just asking. Is there a reason to be worried about that? Like, is there something to this? I don't think there is.
I don't think so, unless I missed something. I mean, I know he had that long touchdown run, but that was like late in the fourth quarter, garbage time. That wasn't like they gave Dameon Pierce, important carries in that game. And remember, Mixon was coming off an ankle injury they didn't ease him in or anything. They didn't say like, okay, you're coming off the ankle injury. Let's ease you in here. They're like, okay, you're our guy. So yeah, I mean, unless I missed something, which maybe I did, maybe I missed it, but I don't think there's any reason to worry here.
No, I mean, we can't say we really know because we basically have seen 2 games of Joe Mixon, part of a third, but basically 2 games of Mixon as a Texan. In both games, he's been a workhorse. So no. Now I will say, I think Dameon Pierce, especially if you have Mixon, is a nice stash. I don't mind adding Pierce, but I'm not worried about that for Mixon.
Right.
All right. What about OG? Too much. 14 teamer half PPR was offered CD for St. Brown and Chubb.
I mean, I don't
lean in the CD side.
What's that?
I thought you would lean the CD side, like almost surely.
Oh, I don't think CD and St. Brown is that big of a difference. So it's like, I feel like I'm not expecting a lot from Nick Chubb, but I don't want to just give Nick Chubb away for nothing. And it's not like you're getting nothing here, you're getting CD, but you're trading St. Brown. It's not like you're going from like Brandon Ayuk to CD or something like that. You're going from CD to St. Brown or St. Brown to CD. It's like they've both been a little underwhelming this year based on where you drafted them. They both have the potential to be absolute studs. I think I would just keep St. Brown and Chubb. Like if it was CD for St. Brown, I'd be like, yeah, if you want CD, take CD, I guess. Like I had no strong opinion. So why just throw in Nick Chubb for no reason?
Yeah. So in that case, you're like, what are you getting out of this?
Yeah, I don't really see how this is benefiting you, unless you think CD will be significantly better than St. Brown, and I don't feel that way.
Right. So I guess the answer here is decline because it's not really necessarily helping you. All right. This is something I know we're still getting the super chats. I think we have to help Panchio Porel Internet drop Waddle to get Ferguson.
What does that mean, by the way? Panchio Porel, something about the internet. No, don't drop Waddle. Don't drop Waddle.
Sure, you can pick up Jake Ferguson because again, people, would just drop people on a buy, but not dropping Waddle. Don't drop Waddle. Let's go to yeah, exactly. What's up, Anthony? In the house. Do you think Russell Wilson adds value to George Pickens and Muth?
I mean, it can't. I say this, but it probably can't be worse. I don't know if he adds value, but I don't think he takes value away. How's that? How's that for a non-answer?
That's probably the accurate answer. It's like same thing. He might. I know everyone like, oh, Russ in the deep ball. Maybe, but it's still the same offense. So maybe, but I'm not gonna, wager on that. All right, Rough Times got the membership. Thank you, Rough Times. What about Davian Hall? Juju, Downs, or Chase Brown to flex?
Assuming PPR, I gotta go Downs. I like Downs again this week. I know it's Anthony Richardson. I know it's like, oh man, I wish it was Flacco, but it's not like Anthony Richardson is Deshaun Watson out here. He can throw the football. I'm going Downs.
Agreed. Still like Downs. Quentin, start 2. Ayuk, Mooney, Ray Davis.
If no Cook, I'm going. I'm almost see. This is what's so tough about Ayuk. I just feel like I should just Ayuk. If it's Ayuk, just start Ayuk. But then it's like, oh man. But can I really start Darnell Mooney over Ayuk? I don't think so. If no James Cook, I'm gonna go. Davis and Ayuk. Obviously, if James Cook plays, then you're going Ayuk and Mooney.
Yeah, it's too early. I was like, have we heard anything about Cook? It's Wednesday. Like, what am I talking about? It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna say Ayuk and Mooney right now. I still think I'm not gonna bench one of these guys for Ray Davis just yet. So I'll just say Ayuk and Mooney. All right. So Rough Times has a question here. Yo, need to drop Kraft or Moss for defense? Got Ingram. You could just drop Kraft, right?
Yeah, if you got Ingram, you could just drop Kraft.
Needs a running back receiver and a flex between Pollard, Chuba, Devontae, BTJ, and Jacoby. And yes, it is absolutely free to click the little like button down there and sub. It takes 2 seconds and it doesn't cost a thing.
That's right. I'm going Pollard or Chuba at running back. Pick which one. I'm going to flex the other one. And I think I'm going to go Brian Thomas at wide receiver. Hold on before I say that. Yeah, I probably still go him over Jacoby. That one's close, but I'll go Brian Thomas over Jacoby.
Receiver. Yeah, I think ironically, probably like Jacoby better than Devontae Adams this week. I do think, I'll just say this, I think Devontae Adams is a flex option. I'm not saying, no, I don't want to start him. He's going to play, and you know, Aaron Rodgers is going to make a point of throwing to his guy. Devontae Adams is going to make a point of doing something just to show how he got his way. And it's like, it's going to be a thing. But I'd still say if Jacoby's good to go, probably play Jacoby. And then Pollard and Chubb build the rest of it. By the way, still free. Click like, hit subscribe. Seth Swirsky. What's up, Seth? 12-team PPR. Stroud, Jamar, Ayuk, Derrick Henry, Monty, Kittle, Jaden Reed, Achane, and Ladd. Does anyone on my bench replace any of the starters? No. I mean, you got Pop. It'll be the only one, maybe. I don't think so.
I might go Pop over Ladd, me personally.
Well, that's interesting because we just give away all our boom picks. We talk about both of those. You picked one, I picked the other. I mean, I like them both this week, but this is almost a matter of preference. I know Demario Douglas gets the Jags. He has the better matchup. I would just say that. He definitely has a better matchup. So, and this is true, Juice. We did talk Jags and Raiders. What if the Jaguars get the #1 pick? They're probably not going quarterback. They can't because they just signed T-Law to a fat contract, which they're already regretting. I guarantee you, they're already regretting. Well,
they're not going quarterback. They'll probably trade out of it. If they get the #1 pick, they'll probably trade out of it.
Right.
My guess.
All right. What about Deshaun Davis, Chubb, Kamani Vidal?
I know he said no Chubb, but man, I mean, come on, Vidal. Like, okay, yes, he had that touchdown, that wheel route, his first touch in the NFL. But what did he have? What did he have last week? Like 5 touches, 6 touches.
Yeah.
All right, just in this case, okay. Our first Chubb question, and I'm already saying yes to Chubb. In this case, just go with Chubb because, yeah, what is Vidal really going to get you?
Yeah, well, I think the best option here might be choice C, door number 3, which is who's on waiver wire. Like, is there somebody else you could stream? Yeah, maybe there's somebody else you can pick up and start, but who knows? How do you feel about starting Hawkinson? We kind of already answered this. It's not great, but
yeah, I don't think Hawkinson's playing this week either. By the way, I mean, I know he returned to practice, but remember, just returned to practice.
Yeah.
And if he plays, he's going to be very limited. Very limited.
Yeah. If you're talking this week, it's no. I don't even think he is playing, but even when he comes back. It's the same thing like with Chubb. I know we don't get off on this, but got to pump the brakes. All right. Is this our first Bub Means question? 410 Braxton. If Cup doesn't play, can you start Bub Means?
I mean, you can, but the problem is Bub Means plays on Thursday. So, like, I feel like I would just wait for Cup here. And if Cup doesn't play, there's got to be somebody on the waiver wire you can just desperation start that could be just as good as Bub Means.
Right. I mean, if you have Bub Means, like maybe not, but if Cup doesn't play, you could probably be able to pluck Jordan Whittington off the waiver wire and stream him. Like, it's probably about as good. I think it's not just that Bub Means is named Bub Means, but it's also the fact that it's Thursday night. He's got Spencer Rattler's car. Okay, Rattler wasn't bad. They're playing the Broncos, right? So does that mean that with no Olave and no Shaheed, does that mean that Bub Means gets the Pastor-Tan treatment?
Well, Pastor-Tan is out with a concussion, so it does help a little bit.
Well, there you go. Fire up Bub Means. No, I wouldn't start Bub Means.
No, I would not.
It's still a good Broncos pass defense, and he's still Bub. The Gaming Wolf. Good evening. Good evening. Start one, flex one. Dobbins, Achane, Chase Brown, and Bigsby.
I'm going Dobbins and Achane. I think Dobbins is a must here. He's in a good spot this week. He's a workhorse. I mean, I'll say maybe Bigsby if Etienne is completely out. Probably going Dobbins and Achane.
Dobbins for sure. I do like Tank. Thinking if Etienne is out, I'd just go Tank. Andrew Gill, start two. Bateman. All right. Tank, Juju Pickett.
Oh, fantasy football. Who would think? We'd have Pickens in the same conversation as Juju Smith-Schuster, Tank Bigsby, and Rashad Bateman? Okay, if Etienne's out, I'll go Tank. I mean, I do like Bateman, but man, could I really put Bateman in over Pickens? I don't know. I think I'm still gambling on Pickens here. If Etienne plays, I'll go Bateman Pickens, I think.
This is tough. I like Bateman this week, as you know, because of course you know. I'm gonna go with my guys that again you're gonna hear about on the next video that comes out or one of the next videos. I'm gonna go with the first two. I'm just gonna go with the first two. All right. Here's a trade question for Chubb. Would you trade Najee for Chubb? Country connected.
I think at this point I just take Najee. I'm not like all in on Najee because what he did last week. Like, okay, fine. He had a nice game against the Raiders. Okay, fine, whatever. But Najee's healthy. He's actually looked good this year. I think I just take Najee here, not risk it with Chubb.
Yeah, it's Chubb again. Let's lower the expectations, but also, do we really, really want a piece of this Browns offense at all? Probably not. Brother Pickle, good day. 3-3, lost by 1, lost Shaheed, replaced with Pop. Okay. Now someone mentioned this earlier.
Okay. No, this is not real. I don't know where you guys got this from. I saw it in the comments too. This is not real. He did not get an MRI. According to the people who actually know what's going on, meaning Tom Pellisario, Ian Rappaport, Mike Garofalo, there's no concern for his knee injury. If he had gotten an MRI, these guys would be reporting on the MRI. So I don't know who reported on the MRI, but I don't think it's real.
I haven't looked into that, but let's just not panic yet. So roll pop. Yeah, you can. Okay, pick up. Nah, just roll with pop.
Yeah, roll with pop.
All right, there you go. Let's see. Davian Hall again. What tier of RB to trade either Hawk or Ferg?
I don't think it's going to take a lot here. Maybe Dowdle. Maybe a Kareem Hunt. Maybe a Mostert or Zach Moss. Like, I'm not trading a lot to get Ferg or TJ Hawkinson.
You can't expect a really good running back for these guys. Ferguson is like a solid tight end. He's not an elite tight end. I don't think for the most part he still has this kind of name recognition. You know, even though you can say, well, he's been better than Laporta, and you said you can get Josh Jacobs for Laporta. Yeah, because people still think Laporta is going to be an elite tight end. It's different, right? It's different. People are doing this, aren't looking at where they drafted him or last year's stats. So anyways, you're not getting anything close to an RB1 or really even a high-end RB2. Maybe a Tank Bigsby. Maybe that's worth pursuing. Yeah, something like that. Like maybe Ramondre. I think that might be the best you could get is a Ramondre coming off an injury.
Maybe.
Yeah, so maybe shoot for Ramondre, but that's probably like the highest of the tiers. All right, Kendrick Shanklin, Royal Roots LLC. All right, well, Kendrick. Start one, Chase Brown or Achane?
I'm still going Achane this week. I've got Achane higher. It sounds like he's definitely going to play. They get the Colts run defense this week. I'm going Achane.
Yeah, I liked Chase Brown last week, and he was good. He didn't like go off, but he was still pretty good. I don't know that he'll go off this week, so let's just stick with Achane. I mean, it's not a bad matchup for Chase Brown, but still, I don't think that he'll necessarily outscore Achane. I'm really going to just put a sliver of hope, speaking selfishly as a Dolphins fan, that Mike McDaniel's come up with like some brilliant game plan throughout the bye week that gets all the guys just firing on all cylinders, even with Tyler Huntley at quarterback. So we'll see if that happens. Also rate this trade. Traded Hawkinson, Worthy, and Tracy for Walker, BTJ, and Bucky Irving. Yeah.
That's a win. That's a huge win. Assuming you got Walker, Brian Thomas, and Irving, it's a huge win. If you got the Hawkinson, Worthy, and Tracy side, I got bad news for you. But if you got the Walker side, it's a huge win. Huge win.
Yes. This, and look, I am not neither of you. We're not a fan of vetoing. This is one, like, if I saw this, I'd be like, oh, okay, hold on. Like, maybe this shouldn't go through. This is a big win for you if you got the second side. All right, let's see. Nathan Bradkey. Bigsby or Pop? Tank or Pop?
I guess if Etienne is completely out, I'll go Tank, otherwise Pop. Although I really do like Pop, but I understand the risk with Pop as well. So, all right, if Etienne is out, I'll reluctantly go Tank. But if Etienne plays, I'm just going to go Pop.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, this really is probably going to come down to how the game goes, game script here. If the Jags aren't losing early, which, oh, come on, it's still the Patriots. Tank should get enough touches that he's got that floor. All right. Ron Skov got offered Adams for Mixon. Got Barkley, Hall, Kyron, Mixon, and Chubb.
Nah, I'm just keeping Mixon here. I know you got a lot of running backs, but I mean, I'm getting more. If I'm trading Mixon, I'm getting more than Adams. You need to get more than Adams.
Yeah,
Mixon's only really played 2 games and he's been awesome in both of them. I think you got to get more than Adams.
Right. I think trading Mixon might make sense to get a stud receiver, but yeah, I mean, look, what's the realistically rest of the season? Where do you think Davante Adams probably ranks, like between wide receiver 15 to 20, something like that? Or is that too high?
20. More probably closer to 20. Like he'll have some weeks where he's inside the top 15, top 10, but then he'll have some weeks where he's like outside the top 30, and when it's all said and done, he'll be like 20-ish.
Yeah, so like think about Joe Mixon, the way he looks right now. Could be what, maybe RB10, maybe better.
Yeah, inside the top 10, yeah.
So there you go. You should be able to get a better receiver. Blair Davis, drop AR for Dak as a backup.
I mean, why? Like, just hold AR for now. See what he does this week. He's supposed to start. If he's terrible, then sure, go ahead, drop him for Dak next week. But like, why not just hold the guy who's playing this week and see how he does? No one's running out to pick up Dak. He just had a 3-point game. He was just awful. No one's going to run out to pick up Dak right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That I can see logic in replacing Arrow with Dak, but Rodney Woods is on a 4-game win streak. Very nice. Let's make it 5. Pick a receiver, tight end, and a flex. Muth and Joe.
All right.
Wow. You might be forced to pick Calvin Ridley here.
Nah, I would rather start Dobbs. I would honestly rather start Tutu. I'm going to go Dobbs. I'm going to flex Chase Brown. Are we trusting in Njoku without Cooper? I'm not. Nah, just give me Freiermuth. Dobbs at wide receiver, Muth at tight end, Chase Brown at flex.
I want to be able to say, well, Njoku, stock up. No, he's still in Cleveland. Deshaun Watson still the quarterback. So no. Kamuth. I know. I can't pick Ridley. Not right now. I mean, no. Dobbs and then go Chase Brown. Freehola, 33. Traded Dunze and Aubrey for Harrison. Kicker?
That's got to be a win. You traded a kicker. Kicker trade. This got to be a win. Got to be a win for you. Good job.
But it's an elite kicker, like the best kicker.
How many? Okay. Let me look.
Oh, we just started something.
Yeah, you just started something. How many fantasy points does Brandon Aubrey have this year? Brandon Aubrey has
where I have a kicker.
Brandon Aubrey he's averaging 13 points per game. That's pretty good, actually. That's like a flex. That's like a low-end flex. So I still want Harrison.
Yeah, still got to take Harrison. Well, you saying you already did it? You got Harrison? I think that's good. Mary Jo. What's up, Mary Jo? 8-teamer. Got Daniels and Hurts. Who do you like this week?
Good question. I got to go Daniels against the Panthers.
Yeah, that defense, you can stream against it. So Daniels. All right, Connor, Bijan, Hubbard, B-Rob, we need 2 running backs.
Oh man, I think it's got, for me it's Bijan and Chuba, but it would be tough to bench B-Rob.
Agree. Well, maybe we can flex them.
No,
2 receivers, AJ, McLaurin, Evans. Yeah, probably not.
got to be those 3. It's got to be those 3 receivers, I think. Man, that's the thing with the 8-teamer.
Yep.
The thing with the 8-teamer.
All right, Mary Jo. So Daniels, Bijan, Hubbard, AJ McLaurin, Evans. There you go. And then we got Quail Man, drop, Wandale, Jason, Mooney for downs. Like which one to drop?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hater, but I'm going to drop Wandale. It sounds like Neighbors is going to come back. Like, what's the upside for Wandale? What's the upside?
Oh, well, yeah, Neighbors should be back. So I think it's definitely Wandale here. No, just get Downs. Downs is like a better version of Wandale.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking up Downs. It was between him and JSN.
Right. Mary Jo also needs a defense. Got the Chargers, got the Patriots, got the Lions. Lions, Eagles. Eagles get the Giants this week, right?
No, Eagles. Yes, Giants.
Right?
Giants. I think I'm going Chargers. Chargers have been really good. They might be getting Joey Bosa back. I go Chargers.
There's a guy, Joey Bosa. I remember he was supposed to be like dominant pass rusher. Is that guy ever? Before I say this. Okay, he has. I'm shocked. I was like, is that guy ever going to play like a full season? He has a couple of times, but the last 3 seasons, let's see, 5 games, 9 games, and so far 3 games. Guys, always hurt. Like he really is always hurt. But anyways, yeah, you can still go Chargers. All right, next super chat. Which, by the way, guys, we do have a ton of questions. So if you haven't been on here before, hope you understand. Cannot answer nearly all the questions, and we do try to get to as many as possible, but we do have to do the super chats first because that's exactly why they exist. So if you want to guarantee that we put your question up here and give it some airtime, then the super chat works. Or you can use the DraftLane app. We have an app that you can use at any time. I'll get this off real quick. So if you haven't heard, we have an app called DraftLane. It's free download from the App Store or the Play Store, and it gets you directly in contact with us. You do exactly the same thing we're doing here. Get those start-sit questions answered or your trades, waiver wire, whatever. And if you do the waiver wire or trade features, we can actually take a look at your Yahoo or Sleeper synced rosters. We can look at your team. We can look at the waiver wire. We can look at the other people on your league, their teams as well, which really makes it a lot more beneficial for the trade questions. It's pretty cool. And we can leave you direct feedback, specific comments. So it's basically a way to chat with us offline whenever. So check it out if you haven't already. Again, it's an absolutely free download, so try DraftLane if you haven't already. Now let's do Vinay. Vinay is asking to give Chubb and Jacoby to get Tyreek Hill and Sharps.
Yeah, I do this. Jacoby Myers, fine. Chubb, maybe it'll happen for him this year. We'll see. But just go get Tyreek Hill. Just go get Tyreek Hill.
Yes, definitely is a big win if you get Tyreek here. You don't even need the Sharp addition. All right, 5-1. You might be making your team better. Yeah, this is a good thing. NTY flexing Connor or perhaps Alan Lazard. Maybe he'll get fired up after.
Oh man, it's a tough spot for Connor this week, but I don't think you can flex Lazard with Adams out there now. Even if Adams plays 50% of the snaps, it's going to take away from Lazard. I think you just got to go Connor here.
Yeah, I don't love Connor this week, but honestly, in a 10-teamer, don't know if Lazard has to be kept. You can keep him for now, but yeah. Fantasy football is pain. We know this, and we know him. He wants to know if you can trade Achane and Downs for McBride and JK in half PPR league.
I mean, you can. Should you?
I mean, I think it's okay. I think it's doable.
Yeah.
Trading for a tight end isn't always the best strategy, but if Downs is not starting for you, I think it's okay. I mean, it comes down to, is HN going to be what we hoped for the second half of the season? If so, you don't want to trade him. But
yeah, that's my other worry here is it's half PPR. And the thing about McBride is he's not scoring. He's not scoring, right? He's getting catches and he's getting yards, which is nice, but gives him a little, limits his upside a little bit in half PPR without those touchdowns. I think I want the HN and downside, but it's certainly not terrible.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I think it's doable. Yeah, exactly. JB wants to know, are there going to be any more big trades? You think anybody else gets moved? I mean, I mentioned earlier DeAndre Hopkins not doing a whole lot with the Titans. He could get moved. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think we'll see some more trades. Yeah, D-Hop is one. Who else are we here? There have been some rumblings about Deontay Johnson maybe getting traded. I don't know why, but maybe. I'm sure we'll see some more trades.
Yeah, big trades. That's the question. Are they big names?
Well, yeah.
Probably not. I don't think there's any other big names. Hopkins is the one that comes to mind. There was, and again, this is probably just speculation. People are like, oh, well, Jaguars suck. They might as well trade people. Okay, well, doesn't mean they will, but Travis Etienne, like, okay, if he's losing the job anyways and they suck anyways, why not trade Travis Etienne? Okay, I guess that makes sense. Doesn't mean they will. No. It's probably, it's one of those things that was probably started by Cowboys fans. Like, oh, you need to trade him. Trade Etienne.
Yeah, because Cowboy fans. Oh, Jerry Jones railing on those radio hosts. I feel like Jerry Jones is like at the Joe Biden stage of his life. I don't think Jerry Jones really knows what's going on right now.
No, but he does know that he owns the Cowboys still, and that's all he cares about. Jonathan Warby, Ferg on the wire. Pick him up.
I mean, you got McBride. You're never starting Ferguson over McBride, but I also don't really want to give somebody Ferguson. But I would only do this if you have like a spot on your bench where you're like, I really just don't need this last bench spot. Like, I wouldn't drop anybody. It's 14-team league. Happy Barbie. I mean, he could be, yeah, again, but it's going to come down to, like, it depends. But even 14, like, I'm in a 14-teamer, and I still don't feel like our bench is big enough. Like, I'm like, I want to pick up more players. So,
yeah,
if you got somebody on your bench, you're like, I don't really want this guy anyway. Sure, give Ferguson, but don't drop somebody, worthwhile just to pick up another tight end.
Yeah, this is what it comes down to. Who would you be dropping?
Right.
They always get me. All right, Lillard. Go ahead.
I thought I was okay. Would you trade Brian Thomas and Madison for Jacobs? Yeah, I think I would, because I feel like this is pretty fair. Like, Brian Thomas, Jacobs feels pretty fair to me. Madison, whatever. So let's see. You got Cooks, Monty, Eckler, Najee, AJ Brown, Neighbors, Lazard, Puka, Baker. I guess. I mean, your top end wide receivers are great. Your depth isn't so great with Puka out. But also, I don't know. You might need Brian Thomas more than you need Jacobs, honestly.
As far as value goes, again, to me, I see Madison like whatever. Okay, so Brian Thomas or Jacobs seems pretty fair in general. I think I would value a running back like who's a workhorse more, but looking at your roster, does it make sense? I think it It's close. I think this is fair. Man, really? Lazard's your number 3 receiver?
Yeah. Which actually wasn't that bad until now.
Right. Exactly. So because of that, yeah, because you don't want to be starting Lazard, and Puka doesn't look like he's real close to coming back. That's the thing.
Yep. That's the problem.
Oop, Robert Simpson is 5-1.
All right. So 2 flexes. Got Hurts, Bijan, Walker, Tyreek, Garrett Wilson, Ertz, Harrison, B-Rob. Any moves? Players you'd go for once it's time? I mean, I can see why you're 5-1. You got a stud QB. You got 2 really good running backs. All right. Tyreek hasn't been great, but he should bounce back. Harrison should bounce back. You got B-Rob. I don't know what you really need to do here. I mean, you could try to trade Garrett Wilson now, but everybody knows Davante Adams is on the Jets. Like, they know it could hurt Garrett Wilson. So, I mean, you got a good team. I don't know why you'd be messing with it here. I mean, I know you can always make your team better, but it's not like you're not like 1-5 and need a win. Like, you're 5-1 and your team seems pretty stacked for a 12-teamer.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, okay, any moves for playoffs? Yes, you always want to look ahead. It's a little early for that, a little bit, but I like the thinking. But if you got a good thing, you don't need to mess with it. Tyreek will be better. So players you'd go for once it's time. Yeah, it's a little hard to say. I mean, the obvious buy low candidates, we know who they are, right? You got one of them. You got Tyreek Hill. Who else are you buying low on? Well, you'd have to give up something good to get something good. So I will just say this. And it's not just because he gave you nothing last week, Marvin Harrison Jr., right? Because he got hurt, got concussed. But
right.
before last week, the first few games, it's been a little underwhelming statistically. It doesn't matter if it's his fault or Kyle or whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm starting to worry whether he can really be a dependable, not just wide receiver 1, but even like a high-end wide receiver 2. So I wonder if it would be worth moving him for somebody equivalent who I think is better. Maybe looking ahead, an injured Nico who comes back in a few weeks. Maybe if you could, I would definitely do it. Yeah, maybe trading Marvin Harrison, not a bad idea. All right. Jason Rodriguez, 14-teamer. Geno Cup, Amon-Ra, Achane, JK, Otten, Dell, Waddle, Juju, Vidal, Mostert, Wright, Madison. Drop 1 for a kicker. Yeah, Madison's fine. I think Wright's fine. Either one of those guys. With Achane and Mostert healthy, what's Wright's role going to be? Yeah, you already have both of those Dolphins running backs. I would probably drop Wright because at least Madison's getting touches. Right. Because you might need him because Vidal is not really startable. Mostert, not exactly. So I would say, at least for now, drop Wright. Aaron K, full PPR for RB, Connor Achane, B-Rob. For the flex, also have Cooper, Wandale, Harrison, or a running back. So I guess we're picking 1 running back and 1 flex. Is that right? Looks like it. Man. I think Brian Thomas, or is that Brian Robinson Jr. is going to be my running back if he plays, which just sounds like he's going to play. It's full PPR. I'd probably flex Harrison if he plays, but I really don't think he's going to play. So then it's between Connor and Achane. I'm gonna give Achane the slight edge.
It's because he's a way better matchup this week. So I'm going to go Brian Robinson at the running back, and then Harrison if he plays at the flex, otherwise Achane.
There you go. Yeah, I'm operating under the assumption Harrison doesn't play. Also, assuming B-Rob does play, hoping he does play, definitely want to start B-Rob this week. And Connor, it's in a really tough spot. Like normally it would be Connor, but I don't know this week. So I would say B-Rob and damn. Would I go Achane over Connor this week? Is that being too optimistic about the Dolphins?
I mean, maybe a little bit, but it's also about the fact that Connor's got to play that Chargers run defense.
Yeah.
I mean, he could always score, but I mean, couldn't Achane always score?
He could. Yeah, I might do that. Go Achane. So we just so everybody knows, we're catching up on the super chats and doing as many. We haven't done a lightning round yet, so we'll do some non-super chat comments here in a second. We'll also have to, because the chat's the chat, but people have made some comments about the low quality of the stream early on. Have I gotten better at least? I hope. Am I better now?
Yes, you look good. You look good now. You look good now.
It's amazing because I stopped uploading video. Yeah, so I do. My internet does kind of suck because I live out in a rural area. One day, just so you know, every time somebody signs up for Underdog, that gets us closer to my goal of having the Starlink. So do it. But this is just right. That was a totally natural, smooth segue. If you have not, for whatever possible reason that I can't conceive of, not tried Underdog yet, and you don't have an account, well, you should do it now. And I'm saying that because you get a free pick. Yeah, they always have these free new customer picks. You know this. This one for Thursday night. Bo Nix just getting a yard, so this would be it. Take the higher. He gets a free pick. But also, it's Boostober, which means for the rest of the month, every single day, there's some sort of a profit boost token. And they're not just a little bit. There's like 31% profit boost. That's right. Extra 31% for your pick if you win. So you get this free one. So good chance to win your very first try. But this is only good if you use code ENDGAME when you do sign up. That's right. Code ENDGAME. And fund the fast internet fund. I'm not going to start a GoFundMe or anything, but this is even better.
GoFundMe for what is it? Starlink?
Starlink, or I think it's Starlink. All right. That's something that sounds like a David Bowie song. I like this comment. I'm ignoring the comments. We're trying to keep the football, but Andres, I think this is too good not to. He says, "I broke the internet. Literally broke the internet. That's what
broke the internet."
There you go. Thank you, Andres. I'll always keep you in my heart. Ismail dropping Shaheed, Juju, and Demario Douglas and Braylon Allen on waivers. Okay, yeah, dropping Shaheed. Okay, so those three guys are on waivers.
Am I too high on Pop?
No.
I'm probably going Pop. I mean, we've seen this.
Juju.
Yeah, we've seen this from Juju before. I'm going Pop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if you really want to pick up Juju, you can drop Wandale for Juju.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking like. Is there anybody else that you could drop? Yeah, let's just do that. Drop Shaheed, drop Wandale, get Juju, get Demario Douglas, and then you don't have to choose. All right, I did promise the lightning round. Let's do it. Let's do some regular non-super chats. George, trade Chubb for Devontae Smith.
If you're getting Devonta Smith, yes.
Yes. If you're getting Devontae Smith. Big Money Mike. Pick 2. JSN, Madison, Douglas, or Kirk.
Douglas for sure. This is not going to be lightning. Douglas for sure. Man, I guess Kirk?
Say Kirk.
Yes,
I'm going to say
Kirk.
Kirk. So we'll say Kirk. That way we agree.
Yeah.
Douglas and Kirk. Victor King, Liggett, or Mike Wilson?
I think I'm going Liggett. Is it Liggett? I saw that I think the Panthers announcers pronounced it Liggett. So maybe it's Liggett. I don't know. But I'm going with him. He gets the Commanders this week.
I do think it's Liggett. That's what it says on
Yeah.
Pro Football Reference. Liggett. Oh,
Yeah,
so
that's what the
he gets
announcers were saying on the game. So
there you go. All right, and then let's try to do another one. I think we already did this one. Anthony M. Drop Waddle for Juju? No, don't do that.
No.
Colt 45. D Hop to the Chiefs? No, that's not true. It's possible.
No, I've not seen anything about that. No.
Hunter Price, Eckler, or Jordan Mason?
I think I still got to go Jordan Mason if he plays. Although I do like Eckler this week. He gets the Panthers, but if Jordan Mason plays, I got to play Mason over Eckler.
Right. If Mason plays, you play Mason. And then XPS Pickens. Tank or Bucky?
This is going to come down to who plays and who doesn't. If I guess if both White and Etienne are out, I would probably prefer Tank in the slightly better matchup.
Yeah, I think if Etienne's out, I'm going Tank. And then just so we know, people are dropping Waddle.
Yep.
Like he's hot.
He's been
Pick him
been
up.
terrible. It's been terrible.
Just a bust. Huge bust.
So now that
All
we're
right.
potentially 1 week away from Tua coming back, now I'm going to drop him.
Yeah, exactly. AJ Sherman, back to the Super Chats here. Deontay, Smitty, T. Ooh, only pick 2.
Kenneth? Do you know Kenneth?
I do not. I know Kenneth Walker. All right. Hi, Kenneth. I don't know.
Hi, Kenneth.
Deontay,
Oh.
Smitty.
This is tough. I feel like you got to start T. I feel like you got to start Devonta, and I feel like you got to start Deontay.
I know. That's what I'm leaning. Guy I almost always just say yes to, but I really want Deontay in there, and you got to start T. So there you go.
Yeah. All right. Bench Devonta, but really, you these guys are all pretty close to must starts.
Yeah. If you're not sure, then I guess see what Kenneth says, and that'll be the tiebreaker.
Ask Kenneth.
9 Ball Bori was the 1-5 team. Yeah. Streaming the Rams defense. Well, that's fine. Look, it's not this week. It's not the worst. They get the Raiders, don't they? I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. I don't know if they're my favorite, but they're fine.
Yeah. Well, the Colt 45 agrees. I wouldn't say I trust them, but there could be worse options out there. What's up, Ray? Ray Harcourt. Been a minute since you've been on here. I know he's definitely an underdog. You know, he does some of those the pickups. He does those deep ones, those deep picks.
Didn't you do a bunch of best ball manias too? Didn't you do a bunch of best ball manias, Ray? How are your teams doing? I wonder.
Yeah, I think he did. All right. So is Eckler a good start this week? I will just say this again. I'm assuming B-Rob is going to play. I don't know for sure, but I think he will. But Eckler's still startable.
I like Eckler even with Brian Robinson. It's the Panthers. We just saw Tyler Algier have 100 yards and a touchdown with Bijan going on. It's the Panthers. Yeah, he's definitely a good start, even with Brian Robinson.
Yeah, good start. Good enough. And then PM Chunk, HN, and Lad for B-Rob and BTJ, the Bryans.
Ooh.
That's an interesting one.
I might just take B-Rob and BTJ here. And not even worry about Tua. Brian Robinson's been so good. It sounds like he's back. He's healthy. I still prefer Brian Thomas to Lad rest of the season, so I might just take the B-Rob Brian Thomas side.
Yeah, HN is really, really tricky in terms of, yeah, you can buy low on him, But should you buy low is the question. I mean, I think I would for the most part, but I just like Brian Robinson so much. I really just am fine going with Brian Robinson. So I guess if you're getting the Bryans, then that's fine. You can do that. Cody now wants to know, would you go Mahomes over Kyler Murray? Because he picked up Mahomes for nothing.
No, I still go Kyler Murray for that rushing. I mean, Mahomes hasn't been great either, so I'll just go Kyler Murray.
Yeah, and it's a road game against the Niners. Not a great spot for Mahomes. That could wind up being one of the big disappointing low-scoring games of the week. But we'll see. Tolu O, start 3. Tyreek, Cooper, Juju, Jacoby.
Oh, man. This should just be Tyreek, Cooper, Jacoby, move on. But we don't know how much Cooper's going to play. How good is Tyreek with Tyler Huntley? I might just sit. I mean, depending on what we hear about Cooper and how many plays he's learned, how many snaps he might play, I might just sit Cooper, honestly.
That's what I'm thinking. Let's just mitigate the risk here with Cooper. Just wait a week. So, yeah, that's what I would do. I would start Tyreek, Juju, and Jacoby. But, hey, keep an eye on Jacoby. Make sure he's good to go. Frank Kitugwa. Welcome back, Frank. Full PPR. Kenneth Walker and Dante Johnson for Nico and Cook.
I mean, if Nico was healthy, I'd say take the Nico James Cook side for sure, but I gotta think after IR, Nico will be back. I mean, we saw that with AJ Brown, right? He missed 4 games with a hamstring, came back and totally fine. Had a huge game. Why can't Nico come back from the hamstring? I mean, you might regret this in the short term, especially if James Cook is out again this week. But I think long term, you'll like the Nico Cook side. So as long as you're in a position where you're like 5-1, 4-2, like you're not, in a must win this week, then I'll take the Nico James Cook side.
Yeah, you should be good enough with those backs to having Cook there is a nice thing because you say you're giving away Walker. I mean, I'd like to know what's your record and your whole roster and all that. But if you can afford to do this and wait, I think yes, I think you can. The Nico Cook side should pay off down the stretch. All right, Vascotino. 12-team PPR, Hurts, Gibbs, Chase Brown, Tyreek, Devontae, Kraft, Wilson on the bench, Bucky, Rashad, Juju, Dunze, Mooney, Dobbs. Any moves?
Puka on IR. Do you have somebody you could drop for Puka? I might drop Dobbs for Puka. I know Dobbs is coming off a big game, but are you ever really going to start Dobbs? I mean, if I can just get... Oh, Puka's on IR. My bad. I was thinking... For some reason, I thought waivers. He's on IR. Okay, never mind. I mean, moves? I would be trying to sell high on Adams. I'll tell you that right now. I would be selling high on Adams.
Yeah, I just noticed this team has both Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams. I mean, I don't think it's going to be like a death knell for Garrett Wilson, and Devontae Adams will still be startable, but it's a little too jetty for me.
Yeah, I would be selling high on Adams. Like go try to get I doubt you can get a Godwin. You might be able to get a Metcalf still. You could probably get a Nico if you're okay waiting. You could probably get an Evans. Guys like that.
There you go. All right. Beast Mode Kane, 2 QB league has Drake May, Kyler Murray, and Baker.
Yeah, if you're asking which one sits, Drake May sits.
Yeah, and still see all the Drake May panic about the MRI. That's
I have not seen one thing on Twitter about Drake May having an MRI, like from anybody reputable.
Right. That's the key. Like reputable, like an actual reporter, insider, something like that. Remember, having a little check mark doesn't mean anything anymore. So, Jason Priddle, would you trade Kamara and Ingram for HN in London? Oh, and you have Bowers already? And I think so.
Yeah, get HN in London, especially if you already have Bowers. Get HN in London.
Yeah, because you already have a good tight end. I mean, you have the tight end 1. You don't need Ingram, and you're getting a wide receiver 1 basically for Ingram. And I know HN is risky, but I still think this is worth it. There you go. And SoFly, would you go Pop or Worthy?
I'm going Pop. Worthy is so risky right now. Just give me Pop.
Yeah, exactly. So Douglas it is in Laporta or Njoku. It's Laporta.
Oh, man.
I mean, look, I understand. Okay, Amari Cooper's gone. That vacates a lot of targets. This was the wide receiver 1. But they have to be catchable targets. They're coming from the worst quarterback statistically. And what was it say? Like out of the last however many quarterbacks who played in the past decade, he's like 588th out of 589 or something insane. Like it's beyond bad.
I get all of that, but the other flip side to this is you actually have to get targets, and Sam Laporta doesn't get targets. Oh. Sam Laporta has 15 targets on the entire season. 15. They've played 5 games. Oh man. I don't know. I guess Laporta. I mean, he does have a good matchup this week, so maybe. I guess Laporta. But I'm going to talk about Laporta on the 10 stats. Like, it's not, I don't know. It's not good for Sam Laporta. This is not good at all.
Well,
how many games has David Njoku even played this year? Like 3?
Yeah, he's only played a couple.
He's got almost the exact same amount of expected fantasy points as Sam Laporta. Like Sam Laporta is not getting used. I don't like he could be playing with like if you took Peyton Manning, Tom Brady in their primes and Aaron Rodgers in their prime, made him in one quarterback, it still wouldn't matter. He's not getting the ball.
Yeah, but again, he hasn't gotten as much as we'd like so far, but he's still part of the offense. But again, to me, it's just we got 2 teams on the extreme here. I don't know. I'm not starting Njoku until we see a different quarterback there. All right.
Actually, I'm looking at the same number of targets this year. That's crazy.
Well, that is crazy. I think that changes. Jacob Brapon Jones.
Right.
Question in the chat, by the way. Start 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 receivers, a flex. Okay, let's see. Jacob. Where is the question in the chat? Don't know if it's before or after here. All right, let's see. We're going to look for it. Here it is. 6-0 in the 10-man league. Very nice. Got Stroud, Caleb, Chase, Harrison, DK, Deontay, Waddle, Kamara, Rashad White, Swift, B-Rob, Chase Brown have a trade offer. Deontay and Swift for Walker and Wandale.
Oh, man. So this is basically Deontay and Swift for Walker because you're never starting Wandale on this team. Wandale is never starting for you.
I mean, you get the
Swift
upgraded running back.
Yeah, it's definitely an upgraded running back. But Swift has been really good, and he still has a bunch of good matchups coming up. I don't know. As much as I like Walker and as much as I want Walker, I think I just hold Deontay and Swift.
I'll say this, looking at the roster here, you got Kamara, every week you're starting him. You're right now between Swift and B-Rob, like as your RB2. Those guys are both doing just fine. So I don't think you need Walker because I'm looking at your receivers. Chase, yeah. DK, still starting every week. I think Waddle will get back to, okay, I'm just starting him no matter what. But for now, Harrison out, Waddle's still not startable. You kind of need Deontay as that third receiver right now. So yeah, I agree. It's not a smash accept for me. I don't think it's a terrible trade. I think it's fair, but again, maybe if it was somebody better than Wandale, right? Maybe somebody more usable. Maybe somebody you could buy low on. All right. Then we have a super sticker from Marquise McClure. Thank you, Marquise. Let's see if there's a question. There is. We'll put it up. Let's go to Daniel Amaro. Harrison for Ramondre. Straight up.
I mean, I don't hate this deal, but I feel like you could get more for Marvin Harrison right now than just Ramondre. Like, I think you should get Ramondre plus a lower end wide receiver or something. I don't hate this for you. I think Ramondre will be good. We've seen when Ramondre is healthy and out there, he's good, but I feel like you should still get more for Marvin Harrison right now.
Yeah, and talked about this earlier. I'm fine trading Harrison, but you could probably get more. So keep working on it. Marquise, here's a question here. Brian Thomas Jr. or Austin Eckler in the flex?
Does it say if it's PPR?
Nope.
This is really tough. I really do like Eckler, but I think if it's PPR, I gotta give the edge to Brian Thomas here. Brian Thomas.
Yeah, I'm going to go Brian Thomas, more upside. It wasn't, of course, when everybody was in on him, let down, didn't do much. But the Bears do have a good defense. It wasn't a great spot. I think Thomas will be fine. Always has big play potential. With B-Rob back, go Brian Thomas. How about Dex, Ryu, Pitts, or Ingram?
I'm definitely going Ingram here. Ingram had the best usage of any tight end, even Brock Bowers in week 6, whatever last week was. You know what week it was. I'm going Ingram.
Yeah, going Ingram. And look, you have both these tight ends. Okay, fine. Sell Pitts. Sell Pitts now while people are like, hey, Pitts is back. You don't need him because Ingram is there. And look, we've seen that if Ingram is out, you could just pick up Brenton Strange and he has at least enough value to get you by. So I would sell Pitts right now. All right, the next one goes to Easy Vanya. Welcome back. Wide receiver 1, 2, and flex. Got Deontay, Terry, Downs, Devontae, Bigsby, Myers. 2 receivers in the flex.
I'm going to go Deontay, Terry, and Downs.
Yep. That's exactly what I would do. And then RB1 and 2, Taylor, Connor, or Bigsby.
Well, assuming JT plays, I'll go JT. Obviously, if JT is out, you know what you're doing. But if JT plays and Etienne is out, I'll go a lot of ifs here. If JT plays and Etienne is out, I'll go JT Bigsby. If JT plays and Etienne plays, I'll go JT Connor. If JT doesn't play, you're obviously going Connor Bigsby.
Right. Got all that? All right, funny. Yes. If Taylor plays, you play him. If not, I would probably have Bigsby number 2 anyways, and then Connor. But there you go. The first one's easy though. It's the first 3. David Williams, welcome back, David. Has 3 leagues, so there's
All
3
right.
messages. Needs start and sit help.
Okay.
All right. We're feeling nice. All right. Let's see. Here's one. Half PPR. T, Neighbors, Cooper.
Liget?
Oh, like Liget. Xavier Liget.
You got that. You can only play one of these guys. It's got to be Neighbors. If Neighbors doesn't play, then it's T.
Yeah, he said needs start and sit help. Didn't say how many. I guess the order would be Neighbors, T, and Cooper, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
And then Saquon, Tracy, JT, Najee, Tucker, Algier.
This one's going to be, Saquon, of course, number 1. JT, if he plays, number 2. If Singletary is back, then Najee 3. If Singletary's not back, then Tracy 3. Hopefully you don't need to go deeper than that.
Right. You shouldn't. All right, here's another one. Half PPR, Zay. What? Sean Tucker? No. Yes.
St. Brown? Because it's all wide receivers here, so St. Brown?
ST. Who could it be now? Let's see. STs are different ST. So we just
the only one I can think of is St. Brown.
All right. Well, let's operate under that assumption. Zay, Saint, Debo, Wandale, Waddle, Downs, Pickens. Not sure how many, but let's do the ranking thing.
St. Brown, Zay, Debo would be my top 3. Downs would be 4 if you need to go that deep. Running back is going to be Kamara, Henry, Gibbs. Maybe
Just
Henry, Kamara.
Expecting the king. Henry must be number 1 here. Henry, I would go Henry, Kamara, Gibbs, but hopefully you can start them all. And then he has a third one, which is right here. This is full PPR. DK, Evans, Ayuk, Liget, Downs, and Pop. And then B-Rob, JT, Braylon Allen, Ty Chandler.
All right, going to go DK, Evans. I might go Downs over Ayuk, honestly. DK, Evans, Downs, Ayuk. JT if he plays. Brian Robinson if he plays. Ty Chandler. Braylon Allen last.
Yep. JT, I don't know. I don't know what the word is on JT. We're not going to know yet, but I wouldn't be shocked if he sits again. I haven't heard anything that makes me really think that he's coming back. Who knows? All right. Hopefully that helps, David. Oh, he wanted to see if are we going to be nice and talk about trades? I mean, that's a lot of teams to go for, so.
Like tell them trade ideas? I don't know. That's a lot.
That's a little too
like if
much.
you have specific trades you're thinking about, sure, but like to have to go through all those players and give you trade advice, that might take forever.
Right. Yeah, we still
might
want
be
to
here all night.
give due time to the people. We're still waiting for their super chats. But Jason Priddle got the membership. Wondering, would you trade Kamara for London straight up?
I might.
It's a maybe. It's a maybe. He says RB depth is okay. Well, that's not encouraging.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like you probably should keep Kamara, but at the same time, I can't make it like I can't give you a good reason not to get Drake London. So
I think it's okay, especially now we're seeing the Saints like completely falling apart. Like everybody's hurt, offensive line, quarterback, receivers. So yeah, I wonder if this is a good time to get out from Kamara. Anyways, all right, and then Antonio Arisa, pick 2, Juju, Ayuk, Dobbs.
I'm gonna go Pop and Ayuk. I don't think I can start these guys over Ayuk. Pop and Ayuk.
Right. With this group, Ayuk is still a starter, and we're saying Pop over Juju. And he also wants to know pick 3 running backs: Cook, Mason Birov Najee.
B-Rob, if he plays, would be number 1. Cook, if he plays, would be number 2. And I think Mason, if he plays, would be number 3 for me.
Right. It's going to be, assuming they're all healthy, the first 3. Elmer Sanchez. What's up? 4-2. Got Hurts, Higgins, Tyreek, Nico, Juju, Pop, Kirk, Kamara, Bijan, Javonte, Mostert, Irving, McBride. Trade? Oh, sorry. Deal or no deal?
Higgins, Tyreek, Nico, Juju, Pop, Kirk. Yeah, I mean, it's never bad to deal if it makes your team better, but who are you going to move here? Like Tyreek Hill's a buy low, not a sell high. I still feel like people aren't on Higgins yet. I mean, I guess you could trade Nico, but again, like, do you really want to trade Nico? Juju, Pop, Kirk, what are those guys getting you? You don't want to really trade Kamara or Bijan. Your other running backs, Javonte Williams, Mostert, Irving, like, what are they really getting you? Yeah, there's nothing here that jumps out to me like an obvious trade away or obvious need to upgrade. So I think you're good.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really think you should trade the players that you have. So yeah, leave it alone. You're doing well. You got good players. Sometimes the best trade are the ones you don't make. Brother Pickle. 4, by the way. Tight end premium, 2 running backs, a tight end, and a flex. Let's see, Ingram and Njoku.
Got to be Ingram.
Gotta be Ingram. Mixon, Brown, Bucky, White, Tracy. Need 2 running backs there.
Mixon for sure. I'll say Tracy if Singletary is out. I think if Rachaad White's out, I go Bucky, but it's close between him and Chase Brown.
Yeah, I really would just want to say Bucky, but man, Baltimore run defense is tough. And who knows? Could be a 3-man committee. Ready? Todd Bowles has basically said it's going to be a 3-headed monster. So hopefully you can start Tracy. Was offered Kelsey and Dowdle for Mixon. No.
You got Ingram. You don't need Kelsey, and keep mixing.
Yeah, to me, you can move Njoku if somebody thinks he's gonna like go to the moon now, but don't do this. All right, Mo has been waiting patiently. Mo Zylak. Somebody dropped Olave in a 12-team league. Yeah, it happens. We saw somebody drop Olave in a 10-team league. So Mo wants to know how much fab to get him.
All of it.
Yeah. Whatever's left.
Why wouldn't you? Like, it's a concussion. I know. Okay, he's gonna miss this week. He might be back next week. It might be Spencer Rattler again. But then we're probably gonna see Derek Carr, and we're gonna see Chris Olave with no Shaheed at least for a while here. Maybe the whole season. I'm dropping all of it on Olave.
Whatever it takes. I mean, look, you have good receivers. You might not even be starting Olave. Who knows? Well, but when you get that player of his kind of caliber, he is startable. Even if nobody wants to trade for Olave for whatever reason, you can play him. You can always make a trade somewhere else if you need to. Yeah, the point is, if there's a good player, at least you have him and your opponent doesn't, right? So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I will say, I mean, it really depends on your league and how aggressive they are and who's got what, how much you have compared to them. I typically, if I think I can, I might save $1 if I need it for some kind of desperation, but I think it's worth it to get. All right, Juan Cesedo had a super chat. Needs 3 flexes. Should I start Bateman, Liggett, Brian Robinson, or Josh Downs, Zach Moss, and Brian Robinson?
Like, you have to play one of these. You can't mix or match here. It's like I either play these 3 guys or these 3 guys. Like I can't.
Yeah, I don't get the wording here. I know which 3 my favorite are, but
Yeah, I'm going Brian Robinson, Josh Downs, and probably Bateman, but I do like Liggett. But I'll probably go Bateman. B-Rob, Downs, Bateman.
B-Rob, Downs, and Bateman. Yeah, those are my favorite. I'm not sure why it would be an either or thing, but if it is, then I guess I would pick the second one, Downs and Robinson in there. All right, so people are also still dropping Jalen Waddle. Rough times. Waddle was dropped last week, went through waivers, like nobody even claimed him. Dropped again this week. Okay. So would you use priority number 4?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I would use priority number 1. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Look, this would be different if we knew Tua was out for the season.
Right.
But he's not. Please, Tua, come back soon. Very soon. Brandon Sky, what's up? Douglas, Pittman, Pickens, and Mooney, rank them in PPR. All right. You're welcome.
I'm going to go Pittman, Douglas, Pickens, Mooney, but you could talk me into Mooney over Pickens.
Believe it or not, I am going to talk you into Mooney over Pickens. I will say that.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's the order. And I just want to. I mean, I don't even know if they're like, okay, it's Russell Wilson. Is that really supposed to like thrill me? You know, it just happens to not be a good matchup. I know the Jets defense hasn't been as good as last year. It's still a good secondary. I mean, it's still not a great spot for Pickens. So
I think what Russell Wilson does, it's like it's something different, right? It's like if you're trying to lose weight and whatever you're doing isn't working, I'm going to do this. And you get that momentary spike of like whatever to like, oh, this is it. This is what's going to do it. This is what's going to do it. Will it do it? Maybe. Right? That's kind of like it's not just it's Russell Wilson. This is what's going to do it, right? Will it do it? Maybe. But it gives you that little bit of hope. A little bit of hope that this is it.
I was going to say, I think the term you're looking for is false hope. I think that's what it is.
Wow. It could not. It may not be false. We'll find out, I guess.
We may find out. All right. Money Mitch, Tank, B-Rob, or Myers? Which Tank, though? Two tanks. There's 2 Jay Williamses.
Yeah. If it's Tank Dell, I'm going Tank Dell, Brian Robinson. If it's Tank Bigsby, I'll go Brian Robinson and Tank Bigsby if Etienne is out. Otherwise, I'm going B-Rob and Myers.
Right. So if it's Dell, he's the first. And if it's not, then it would be B-Rob, assuming he plays. And then hold Means or Slayton. Stick with the Bubster.
I mean, look, you can if your league allows you to drop players on your bench after they played, I just hold Means and hold Bub and see what he does this week.
Yeah. Because Neighbors should be back. You don't have to hold Slayton. Yeah, just see what Bub does. Jinrail was offered A-Chan and Justice Hill for Kelsey and Bucky.
Yeah, give me. I don't know. I'd probably take A-Chan here. I guess it depends how badly you need Kelsey, but probably just want A-Chan.
Yeah, I think so. I could take A-Chan. The stud running back who should be good again versus the tight end. All right. Aaron K now wants to know, drop Rashid. I mean, might as well. It doesn't sound like he's coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if I want to drop him just yet. Because if you go, I guess it depends if you have an IR spot or not. Like, what if they're like, oh, okay, it's just a trim. He's out, 4 weeks or something, or 6 weeks.
That's still a while. And I don't think, if you drop him, you could probably get him back if you really want to. So,
true.
Yeah. I mean, if you have an IR spot and he can go as an IR, I would stash him. But if not, I'll probably just drop him. I mean, for Dobbs, sure. Sure. All right. Good evening, Boomer. Here you are. Don't worry. You may have missed it. We already talked twice about Damian Pierce. Troy Black, Ayuk or Devontae Adams.
I think I'm still going Ayuk. Again, not sure how many snaps Adams is going to play.
Yeah.
I think I just go Ayuk this week.
I know they're going to force it into Devontae, try to get him a little something, maybe try to get a touchdown. We'll see. But I think Ayuk is still playable. I mean, let's not just completely forget about him. So this week, let's go Ayuk. Apex Predator. It's 4-2. All right. Got Allen, Bijan, Kyron, JT Corum, Algier Goodson, Chase Hill, Deontay Ridley, Myers, and Kincaid. Trades.
I mean, again, you don't really want to trade Bijan or Kyron or JT. Hill's a buy low, not a sell high. Your depth behind those guys, like you have Chase Hill, Deontay, you have Bijan, Kyron, JT, but your depth behind those guys is not very good. It's fine, but you know what I mean? Like if you trade one of those guys away, or like if you try to do a 2-for-1, like if you do, let's say, Deontay and I don't even know what you would do to make that work. To be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I think you're good here. You have a great team.
Yeah, I don't think this team needs to be messed with. I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is you could pick one of those 3 elite running backs to try to get an elite receiver instead. Maybe a little safer, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But then you might leave yourself thin at running back if there's an injury, like, Jonathan Taylor gets injured. I don't know. So I don't think you need to mess with this team either. Hector may not have been here at the top of the show. Let's give him the TLDR, Nick Chubb. Start Nick Chubb right away.
I would not. I think he's going to be very, very, very limited. It would be crazy for them to put him out there and give him 15, 20 touches. I mean, you never know. It's the Browns. Who knows? But I would be very shocked if he played a significant number of snaps.
Yeah. So, no. Don't play him right away. Quick do impromptu lightning round. TNG Catalyst, T-Law or Cousins?
Cousins
It is. The Duke, John Wayne, Drake May or AR?
I'm just going to go with AR, see what he can do.
Yeah. Anthony M, Steelers or Broncos on defense?
Gotta be Broncos against Spencer Rattler. Broncos.
Definitely the Broncos. All right, and then we got Kevin King. He's 5-1. Trading Terry for Chubb and Downs? I don't think so.
No, not doing that. Definitely not.
I mean, the reason to do this is we like Downs, but not as much as Terry. It's because you think Chubb is going to be back to like every week starting running back. Just don't think so.
But I mean, you're just taking an unnecessary risk there. Terry has been awesome. Why even take the unnecessary risk?
Exactly. All right, Paul Bird. This is half PPR. 2 QB league. Purdy, Lawrence, Herbert. Is
Purdy?
It one of these? I guess probably just one of these.
If it's just one, it's Purdy. If it's 2 of them, I guess Purdy and T-Law, I think. Yes.
Yeah, I'm still not starting if I don't have to start Herbert. I mean, it's a 2 QB league, so of course all these guys are startable. But I think even though it's not great spot for Purdy, I think he still has the edge over these 2. So there you go. And then Davian Hall again. Would you trade Hawk and Chase Brown for Swift?
Remember when Swift was just dead in the water, just worthless. Wonder how many guys who have been worthless so far are going to be like so good in the second half that people just gave up on. I don't know. Waddle, Olave, this guy's just getting dropped to waiver wire, and then it's like, oh, that's right. That's why they were drafted where they were drafted. Yeah, I probably just take Swift. He's looked great. He's the lead back there. He gets a great schedule, kind of 5 or 6 more smash matchups in a row. I'd probably just take Swift.
Yeah, might as well go Swift over Chase Brown and Hawkinson. Like, not holding out too much hope. So might as well trade him, get something for that name value. All right, short season, Garrett Wilson for Hill.
Yeah, just give me Tyreek Hill.
I agree. Might as well get Tyreek Hill. All right, then let's see. Trying to get to the super chats to make sure everyone gets their due. Oh, Boomer, got a question. Downs, Cooper, or Ladd?
Downs. The only reason I agree with you, I was going to put Downs on the Boom video too, but I was like, well, I put him on the Boom video last week. Am I just going to keep putting him on the Boom video every week? I'm going to go Downs.
Yeah, you don't need to risk Amari this week, not knowing how much he'll be out there. I do like Ladd, but I do like Downs a little bit more. So there you go. Downs it is. Make it easy. And then Juan Saucedo with another one. Let's see what the question is. Oh, here we go. I need to. Oh, we already did this. It's the same thing twice, I think. All right. How about Connor Etzler? Debo or Monty?
I do like Debo this week because the Chiefs play a lot of zone, and Debo is good against the zone. But he's also risky. Monty's been so good. You probably just need to go Monty.
I mean, Debo always has that boom potential. But again, not a great matchup defensively. Debo's always the same. You can always start him. You always hate to bench him, but you don't have to. And I mean, I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna take the lazy way out. The floor is Monty, the ceiling is Debo. So go for what you need. Miguel Merks, 2 running backs: Chuba, Pollard, B-Rob, or Ramondre. All pretty good matchups this week. You are correct.
Oh man,
do we know? I mean, we haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything about Ramondre. We assuming he's good to go.
Honestly, even if he does, I think he's 4th on this list for me.
But yeah,
I'm going to go B-Rob and Chuba, assuming B-Rob plays. If for some reason B-Rob doesn't play, I'm going to go Chuba and Pollard. Man, you have four good choices here.
Yeah, Pollard has a good match. That Bills run defense has not been good. You saw Breece Hall have his, well, I don't know if it was his best game. I don't remember, but it was a really good game. But man, you can't. It's so hard to bench Chuba, and of course he gets a great matchup. Chuba and B-Rob, and then Burrow or Purdy this week.
Burrow, definitely Burrow. Burrow's been on fire.
Yeah. Zymalik, Swift, and Shaheed for Tyreek was accepted. So somebody's buying Shaheed. Do they know he's injured?
I'm going to hope that this trade was sent before the injury news.
Man. Well, why people always, like, oh, no one's doing this. You guys don't know how many trades. Actually, I talked about, because I mentioned yesterday, was it Fantasy Calc, as far as like the trades going on for Devontae. I took a look just real quick, and I was just, again, I'm like, I was shaking my head. I laugh because the range is ridiculous. Like I swear there was one league where it was like Devontae Adams for like Zach Charbonnet or something, like straight up. And then there was another, it was like Devontae Adams for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, this is the same player, right? It's the same player. Just different owners. But did you die? Needs major help. Ooh, 1 in 5. Almost are dead. Hurts, Chase Brown, B-Rob, Evans, Harrison, Ottendale, McLeod, Myers, Ballin. Braylon Allen, Coleman, Jake Ferguson, Rashard. Okay, what's to do here?
I think you got to try to trade Harrison. Probably not going to play this week. You need somebody that can give you points. Try to trade Harrison. Let's go see if we can get Devonta Smith, who I feel like his value is still a little low. T. Higgins. I doubt you can get Terry, but maybe Terry, but I doubt it. What does this team need? I mean,
I like Chase Brown, but I think we don't want him necessarily as an every week RB2.
Yeah, I mean, you can maybe go try to get Josh Jacobs. I would say Aaron Jones, but we don't know if he's playing. Maybe Pollard, maybe
Cook.
Brian Robinson. But again, like James Cook, what if he doesn't play? That doesn't really help you this week.
That's a good point.
So that's what I would be doing. I'd be trying, because you can't afford to like have Harrison be out and then let's trade Marvin Harrison.
There you go.
Get a running back or something.
All right, and then Juan didn't get skipped. We did do the super chat, but he did super chat twice, so he just probably didn't hear it yet when he made this comment. So let's answer this. Worth getting Hopkins to drop Zach Moss?
I don't know. I don't really want the Titans pass catchers. I probably just keeping Moss.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too excited by Hopkins right now. So hard enough to be excited about Calvin Ridley. MC, start 2 running backs, 1 receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex, and a trade question. Here we go. Dobbins, Jones, Gibbs, Bigsby, Zay, Adams, Amari, Ingram, and Kincaid. Okay, so I guess let's do the start sit before the trade. Needs 2 running backs, 1 receiver, 1 tight end, and 1 flex.
All right, Dobbins, Gibbs at running back. Zay Flowers at wide receiver. Ingram at tight end.
And 1 flex.
I might just flex Aaron Jones if he plays, although it is a tough matchup, but I can't really trust Adams or Amari. Yeah, I'm going to flex Aaron Jones if he plays. If he doesn't play and Etienne doesn't play, then maybe I would flex Bigsby. If Etienne plays, then I guess I would flex Adams, because at least I know, Adams got his BFF there and he'll target him.
Yep. Trade Dobbins and Zay for Achane and Thomas.
I don't think I do this, because I like Zay Flowers a lot, and Dobbins looks great. He's the clear workhorse there. I just don't think you're getting enough here. I think I'm holding Dobbins and Zay.
Yeah, this only pays off if HN really goes nuts the rest of the week. But there's risk here. There's definite risk. So no, I don't want to trade Zay away right now. All right, JV. Lamb and Downs for Hill and Thomas.
Man, just give me Lamb and Downs. Just give me Lamb and Downs. I don't have to worry about will Tua be back week 8 or not. I don't have to worry about any of that. Just give me Lamb and Downs.
Yeah, I don't think this is upgrading necessarily. I mean, Tyreek Hill, okay, is he still better than CeeDee Lamb? Not necessarily. All right, let's get to... Oh, but did you die again? Harrison for Adams straight up?
I think I still want Harrison.
So trading Harrison, yes, but okay, so instead of Adams, because Adams, who knows what he'll get you this week, and we just said you need help this week, so it's not unfair or anything like that.
No, it's not unfair. I just think I think I would just rather gamble on the potential of Marvin Harrison personally.
All right. See who else you could get maybe to help you this week. Let's see. Frank is back. Frank Katuga. Right, here's the squad. Traded Walker and Deontay for Cook and Nico.
Yeah.
This
So this was the trade from earlier, right? This is a trade from earlier. Yeah, you're 4-2. If you can wait for Nico to come back and Cook, you should be better off here.
All right. I mean, that's a good trade. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
It helps you. So he's dropping his full roster here. Connor, B-Rob, London. Yeah, you're good enough. You don't really need to worry, I don't think, too much about win now, win later. You're 4-2. I think you're good. This should help you down the stretch. So I think it's a good move, Frank. Aaron K wants to know, says Wandale called and wants to know why you hate him.
Hate you, Wandale. I don't hate Wandale. I like guys with upside. That's all.
Right.
Wandale's fine.
I liked Wandale. Actually, I liked Wandale a lot in the draft season. I just
you do like Wandale. You've always liked Wandale.
Like Wandale. I just don't like his quarterback.
Yeah, that's the real issue.
Anthony, what's up? And where you been? Anthony Cervantes is here, and he's 5-1. Very nice. Hurts, Henry, Achan, DK, Reed, Sun God Flowers, and Bowers. That's why you're 5-1. Traded. Okay, hold up. Traded Achan, Flowers, and Reed for Brees, Devontae Smith, and Tank Bigsby.
Wow, this is a big trade.
Didn't want to wait for Achan. That's what it's about. All right. Well,
I mean, you got Brees Hall, so you can't be upset by this. You got Devonta Smith. I mean, I can't say this is a loss for you. You just got Brees Hall and Devonta Smith. I think how big of a win it is going to come down to Bigsby, what he does the rest of the year. But I think at worst this is okay for you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But I'm looking at your squad. I mean, you already have King Henry, and now you have Henry and Brees. That's your 1-2 punch. That's pretty good.
Pretty nice.
You're not depending on Bigsby to start at all, really.
True.
So that's fine. Okay, but then let's see. You got Devontae instead of Flowers and Reed. You got Devontae Smith. So you have DK, Devontae, Sun God. Yeah, you're still good. You hurt your wide receiver depth a little bit, but you might have helped your starters. So I mean, yeah, this comes down to Achan. Obviously, you don't want to wait for Achan, so it's a win. It's a win in that regard that you don't have to care what Achan does anymore. Demetrios is back. Start Kamani Vidal or Bucky Irving?
I think it's got to be Bucky Irving. Even if Rachaad White plays, it's got to be Bucky Irving. Vidal, he didn't get a lot of touches. I'm going Bucky Irving either way.
Right. Vidal's one of those guys. He's a stash, but not a start. I mean, desperation, sure. I really, really need somebody. Bucky, even if it's a 3-headed monster, he's one of the heads. So he's been really good too. So it's got to be Bucky. Doug Fenton wants to know if you can go Darnold over Kyler.
I might go Darnold over Kyler. I might. This is one where I might say yes. Darnold over Kyler.
I would go Darnold over Kyler. Why not? White guy 1.
All right. Well, there are a lot of white guys. It's good to know this is number 1 though.
Number 1. DK or Amari?
Oh, definitely DK. Definitely DK.
Yes, definitely DK. Look, it was not a great week 6, but DK had opportunities. DK is still pretty much just a must start.
Should have been a huge game. Should have been.
Yeah. All right, Rusty Shackelford. Trade Deontay or Olave.
I don't know if I do this right now because again, Olave's not going to play this week. He's dealing with a concussion. Deontay's been great. I mean, yes, I still prefer Olave to Deontay rest of the season, but I don't really want to be out there trading a guy like Deontay for Olave right now.
Okay, so we've seen, and again, every league's different. Of course, this isn't the case in your league, so I get. But I mean, we're seeing Olave get dropped in some leagues.
Right.
People are like, forget him, the Saints. and he is a good buy low, but this isn't buying low. You're giving up a receiver who's been just as good. So no, don't do this. You should be able to offer something less than Deontay and see if you can get Olave. And if not, then oh well. At least you tried. H-Town Chops. All right. Would you trade Trey McBride and Tony Pollard to get Malik Neighbors?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Go stream tight end. I think you got to get Neighbors.
I think so. Does this depend on your RB depth or not? Not really.
I mean, as long as I have a decent RB2, I'm doing this. If my RB2 is now going to be like, I don't know, Sean Tucker, then yeah, I'm probably not doing this. But as long as I have decent RB depth, yeah, just give me Neighbors. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, not a bad trade. And if you have to stream tight end, oh well, join the club. Ray Hardcore. All right, Ray's got a question here. By the way, earlier he said he's not really checking his best ball manias, which is probably a good idea.
Smart. Yeah, I don't check until like week 14. So, yeah.
Full PPR pick 3, Hall, HN, Dobbins, Eckler. Worried about Hall against Pittsburgh?
I mean, yeah, it's a tough run, D, but I'm not worried about Hall. I'm going Hall, Dobbins. I think I'm still going HN over Eckler, even though Eckler has a better matchup. So Hall, Dobbins, HN for me.
You got to start Breece Hall. I mean, sure, I don't feel like he'll have a huge week like last week, but I'm still starting him. Still starting Dobbins. I think I'll go. Yeah, I know Eckler is definitely startable, but man, the matchup differential here. HN does get the Colts. I might go HN. All right, let's see who's next. It's Money Mitch, B-Rob, or Jacobs.
I think you got to go Brian Robinson if he plays. It's just too good of a matchup. Too good of a matchup.
Yep. B-Rob it is. Juice. Oh, he's responding to Boomer. Okay. Let's see who's next. We're getting there, guys. Be super chatted. Don't worry. We're getting to all of these. Just traded Mark G. Traded a second for Kittle. All right. Sounds like we have some dynasty action here. Would you trade Watson and a third for Pollard?
I would only do that if you're like making a run this year and you need Pollard.
Well, he already traded a second to get a tight end in Kittle, who's not like a super young tight end. So it sounds like we're going all in for this year.
Yeah, if you're going all in for this year, go get Tony Pollard.
Already got Saquon, Monty, and Bigsby. 12-team Superflex.
And it's not like Pollard is like 30 years old or something. He's like, he still could have another. Yeah, go get Pollard. Go get Pollard and go win the championship this year.
Yeah, might as well. Draft picks. Who needs draft picks? I will say this.
Yeah.
I don't
win
remember.
The championship, you won't care about your draft picks. I mean, you will when the rookie draft comes along and you're the only one not drafting, you'll care. But it's okay because you won the championship.
That's glad you said. That's exactly what I tell myself in the Dynasty League, where I'm now like 0-6 because I mortgaged my entire future to win, but I won the championship.
Exactly. You win the championship, and then you're like, I'm the champ. And then the rookie draft comes along, and you're like, oh, I have 2/3.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is making picks and trades, and you're just sitting there. You're just sitting there waiting and waiting. You're like, oh.
And I spend the next 3 years rebuilding. But I got the banner, the imaginary banner.
But you know what? That is the ultimate goal, right? Like I think people, I think sometimes in Dynasty we lose sight of the fact that the goal is to win championships, not just to continually have, not just to have a competitive team every year. It's like it's to actually win one of those championships. And
yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sometimes you gotta go all in to get it.
Exactly. Just like the Rams did a couple years ago. George C. Have PPR Kyler and Monty for Love and Walker.
Give me Love and Walker for sure. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Love Walker
Definitely.
side by man by a lot.
Upgrading on both parts here.
Yep.
This is breaking. Boomer, for some reason, has moved on. Damian Pierce is
after Damian Pierce. After Damian Pierce has his best game of the season, you're like, that's it. That's it.
Exactly. Oh, maybe that's it. He's like, he's already arrived, so now I can move on.
He's peaked. He's already peaked.
Oh, come on. That's very disappointing. All right. Good to know, though. Good to know. Well, then you'll definitely like this week's boom video, Boomer.
Yes.
Timothy James. Trade Mike Evans for BTJ.
No, keep Evans. Keep Evans.
No. I mean, in Dynasty, sure. In redraft, no. All right, let's see who's next. It's Tyler C. Drop Downs or Odunze for D-Hop with all the trade rumors. Okay, I'm glad you said that because otherwise I would have vigorously shook my head.
No,
but still.
no. I have not seen a single trade rumor about D-Hop. What am I missing here? I must not follow the right people, I guess.
There's the rumor that I started 2 hours ago when I brought it up. I don't look, rumors are just rumors. But even if D-Hop, okay, maybe if he goes to the Chiefs, maybe, but
right.
I don't know. I don't want to drop Downs. You probably just picked up Downs. I like Downs. Adunze, maybe,
like
but I want to see a little more smoke before I
exactly.
We're almost actually caught up to the super chats. Let's do a couple of regular ones. This is a good one. Justin Vang. Pop or Pitt? Man.
I actually have both these guys in my flex tier. I honestly might just go to Mario Douglas. Got the way better matchup this week. I might just go Douglas.
Yeah, why not? It's pretty good as far as matchups go. Got the Jags. The thing is, Drake May, I know everybody wants it to be one of the rookies, right? Like Jalen Polk or, something. But when a rookie or an inexperienced quarterback comes in, they tend to hone in on the guy they trust the most, the one they have the connection with, the one they know is going to, not let them down. Obviously, it was Mario Douglas last week. It doesn't mean he's definitely going to get 10 targets this week, but he's been the number one receiver pretty much there anyway since he's been healthy last year. So I like the floor here. So there you go. I don't know what that means. Okay, let's keep going. Almost ace. Just traded Achane and Olave for Harrison and Jacobs. Mistake.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's a mistake. You got two good players back. I think I probably prefer the Achane and Olave side, especially now that Shaheed going to miss significant time. But that being said, I mean, you got Harrison and Jacobs. I don't think you can be upset by this.
I mean, I would prefer Achane Olave, but it doesn't mean it's a mistake. Exactly. So
right.
I mean, it's possible that it's not going to be lopsided either way. It's possible that it winds up being mostly even. Team is Kyler, Henry, Jacobs, Lamar, Harrison, McBride, Mason. I mean, you are very, all of a sudden, Arizona Cardinal heavy. That's your thing. That's fine. Beast Mode Kane. Again, needs 3. Deontay Pittman, probably T or Deontay.
No, I think that's Devon. I think that's supposed to be Devontae Adams.
Well, actually, I thought that might be Deontay Johnson because he spells it T-A-E.
Oh, you're right. But now I have no idea.
Or it could be T. Higgins. Or it could be Tay. All right. Well, we need 3.
But he already has Deontay Johnson on here. So
is it T or is it?
Is he in the chat? Let's see. Beast Mode Kane.
Yeah.
Help us out.
I'm
gonna say Deontay Johnson number 1 here. Okay, he's saying it is Adams, Devontae Adams.
You were right. Okay.
I'm gonna say Deontay Johnson. I still probably have to go Ayuk, and I'll say if Harrison plays, I'll go Harrison. If Harrison doesn't play, I think I'll go Pop. I like Pop.
Yeah, the one I like the best here is Deontay.
Yeah.
Don't need to start Pickens here. I really don't think Harrison's going to play, so I'm probably not going to even mention him. Yeah, I'd go Pop 2. And then Ayuk, probably. Yeah, I don't know how that's taken because Devontae Adams, it's TE. But anyways, that's whatever. Okay. Let's do almost to the end here. Oh, okay. Well, come on. Shrek 2 on DVD. Needs a flex. Garrett Wilson, Downs, Waddle.
I think I still go Garrett Wilson here. Even though I do really like Downs, I don't think I can start him over Garrett Wilson. I think I go Garrett Wilson.
Going to be another week at least until you can start Waddle. I do like Downs, but I agree on Garrett Wilson. And then it's a super flex and it's a dynasty. Now you can finally roll out Drake May, but do you trust him in a super flex?
I mean, trust is a strong word, but I think he's fine. Like, I think people get a little overexcited because he didn't look totally terrible last week. But at the same time, I mean, it's still, still a rookie, still Drake May. So, yeah, you can roll him out.
Well, the reason I'll say you can roll him out this week is because it's Jacksonville. I mean, it's
Right.
as good a matchup as you could possibly get for quarterbacks and receivers. So because of that, you can this week. But it might not be the case going forward. We'll see. Miles Isle, welcome back. Dowdle and Mooney for Amari.
I might just take Amari here and gamble on him with Josh Allen now.
Yeah, Dowdle. You got Saquon. Well, okay, we really don't. You have Saquon Achane and then just like Tucker. But still, I don't think Rico Dowdle should be like a fundamental part of every starting lineup. So it's like, who do I prefer, Mooney or Amari? Like Mooney, but I do think it's worth a gamble. Like I said, Amari is very stoked to be in Buffalo. And they're probably pretty stoked to have him. So why not go for the upside here? So in one of our in-game leagues, Anthony, got both the traded guys. So wants to know this week, Tank Dell, Michael Wilson compared to them.
Well, I think you got to stick with Tank Dell, but I could probably start Devontae Adams over Michael Wilson.
Yeah, Michael Wilson is interesting because Harrison might be out, but it's still not a good matchup. And he still didn't really see a big jump in targets last week. It's just Trey McBride got more targets. I'm not expecting a high-scoring game here. So I definitely agree about Tank Dell, yes. Michael Wilson, no. And between Devontae and Amari, I'm going to lean toward Devontae. If you have to pick one. All right, so Rusty Shackelford. How about Waddle for Olave? Still too much?
Yeah, that I might do.
It's better.
That I would probably do.
Because Olave probably not missing beyond this week, I'm assuming.
Right. The problem is when he comes back, it'll probably still be Spencer Rattler. But then, there's a good chance the week after it's Derek Carr, and then no Shaheed. Like, is Bub Means like going to really be a threat? So, yeah.
Yeah. This seems fair. We got G Supersonic. All right, let's see if where the question is. I don't see it right here. Tell you what, well, G. Oh, never mind. I found it. Love it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have to bench one. Everybody loves the new old format.
Yes.
Good to know. I have to bench one. Brees, Mixon, Chuba, London, Flowers, and Devontae in its standard scoring.
I'm benching Devontae Adams pretty easily here. I'm not benching Brees, Mixon, or Chuba, especially in standard. I'm not benching London or it's Devontae pretty easily here for me.
Yeah, I mean, you got good running backs. So if it's standard, you start them all. And this week, it's easily Devontae because we just don't know how much he'll be out there. Although I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, they force a touchdown to him somehow if they can.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
really not even a
Adams.
great matchup, right? Steelers on the road.
Yeah, it's not a great matchup, but when he's out there, Adams going to force him the ball. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to force him the ball.
Yeah, even so, I'm wondering London and Flowers, the way they've been balling, like the rest of the way, are you ever really going to put Devontae over those two? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, we'll see. What is up? Rise above anything. All right, guys. Adding AR if he's out there and dropping one of those guys.
Only if I really need a quarterback. Like if I'm rolling out, like if I was rolling out Fields and now I'm worried he's going to get benched, or I was rolling with Caleb and now he's on bye, then sure. But if you have a quarterback you really like, I would just let somebody else get
AR5. Yeah, I mean, exactly. If you're adding him, it's maybe for the upside, the shot that, he comes through. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. If you're good at quarterback, if you're streaming, then yeah, pick him up. Money Mitch, flex Jacobs or Bigsby?
I still got to go Jacobs. I know Jacobs hasn't been great for fantasy, but he's still getting incredible usage, catching passes. I still got to go Jacobs over Bigsby.
Yeah, I like Bigsby this week. I do. But again, like for a waiver wire pickup who became the starter, who could be the bell cow this week in a decent matchup, not elevating him over guys who have been bell cows all season, who are in really good offenses. Remember, Green Bay offense, Jacksonville offense. So, yeah. But I still do like Bigsby. Okay, well, this explains it. I guess I didn't know. I have not hung out with Aaron Rodgers enough to know he calls him Tay. He calls Devontae Tay, okay. Which
all right.
Shows you what he knows because it's not spelled T-A-E. So, all right. Don't trust anything Aaron Rodgers says. What about Trippy? Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, Trippy, rest of season, Zay Flowers or Jordan Mason?
In full PPR, it's definitely Zay Flowers. Give me Zay Flowers. He looks great.
Yes.
One of the guys we talked about a lot as a year two, have a big year two in this offense, and I haven't seen anything to change my mind. Could see CMC back at some point. Give me Zay.
Yeah, and your rest of season, it's easily Zay because, like you said, we don't know if we're starting Jordan Mason beyond this week, next week. I don't know. All right, and let's do. This is we're caught up. We've done all the super chats, and we're actually almost at the 3-hour mark. So we're gonna finish off. Let's do a couple of regular ones. This one, I keep seeing it, and it keeps intriguing me. Brian LaFlash. Trade Tank Dell and Devin Singletary for Olave and Bigsby.
Yeah, just give me Olave and Bigsby. You might not like this in the short term because Tank Dell with Nico out is going to be pretty good here. But I think long term, I want Olave and Bigsby.
Yeah, this one is it made me think for a little bit. I mean, I know Devin Singletary is not like dead in the water just because Tyron Tracy had 2 big games. Devin Singletary is probably still going to be the starter, right? He still will have value. And at the same time, as much as I like Tank and as he's a starter now, Etienne is probably not going to get traded. He's probably not going to miss the rest of the season. He's probably still going to be there, So I feel like that might wind up being close. But I do think I'd prefer Olave to Tank Dell. We got to think long-term here. All right, Sarp wants to hear what we say. Let's see, what about? Because Sarpburden has been here for a while. Traded Gibbs for Cup, straight up.
I'm not going to say it was stupid. I mean, you're getting Cooper Kupp, so it's not like you got trash. I probably prefer Gibbs over Cup, but it's certainly not far from stupid. Far from stupid.
Yeah, so on the one hand, you're saying I already have HN and Ramondre. I mean, that did you zero good last week. And it's still not like, well, then you might as well trade Gibbs. But he's also saying my wide receiver 3 was Dobbs. I mean, I don't know that this is a matter of need either way. I think this is a matter of what does Cup do the rest of the season? Are you willing to take a gamble that he is healthy and the number one guy? And I do think he could be. So this might wind up being a win for you. I do think so. But it's funny because immediately now we have someone saying, well, Gibbs has a lower ceiling, and then someone else, well, he's a top 5 running back. Like probably somewhere in between.
Probably.
I mean, Monty has been good, but Gibbs is still really good. All right. And then let's do okay, Juan, because he dropped a couple. We made him wait. Baker or Jordan Love?
Ooh. I think you got to go Baker this week. He gets that Ravens. I do like Jordan Love a lot too, but man, against the Ravens at home, I got to go Baker.
This week, yeah. One thing that slightly concerns me with Jordan Love is the Texans. If I got my stats correct, I think they have the highest QB pressure rate. They're getting there. Will Anderson has been really good. So might be a tougher time for Jordan Love. I mean, he's still good, but go Baker. The matchup is clearly in his favor. And Ricardo Andrade is always here, so let's answer his. Dropped Mostert for Ingram. That's fine. Is Kincaid dealing with something? I mean, he's dealing with Amari Cooper now.
I don't think so. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, that's news to me.
Yeah, I just think. Yeah, I think it's just what it is. It's tight end and yeah. I don't know.
Well,
I don't think he's dealing with injury. I just think he's dealing with being a tight end.
I wonder. It's funny because you said he just picked up Ingram off waivers and then wants to trade him. Like, there may not be a robust market for a guy who was just on waivers.
Right.
So you're probably going to hold. I wonder if Kincaid has trade value. Dude, maybe try to trade Kincaid instead. Yeah, try. The key word there being try. All right. Let's do, what do you think? One more?
Sure.
He says he's dealing with an injury. Okay, well, we're going to have to see. I hadn't heard, but it's still, remember, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
This is Jai Saini. Is this a fair trade? Mason and Tank and Etienne for Kyron.
It feels like a lot, but then it's like, but then it feels like not enough. Because I mean, Etienne, where's he headed? Jordan Mason, where's he headed? Tank Dell, I mean, okay, yeah, he'll be good, but what about when Nico comes back? I don't know. I'd probably just take Kyron here.
Yeah, exactly. At first, you're like, man, that's too. But then, like, wait a minute, Etienne has done nothing this year, and like with Jordan Mason, might not be starting in 2 weeks. And yeah, I think I would take the Kyron side as well. I mean, I would say it's unfair, but yeah, I wouldn't take those three. This is the 3-guy platter almost.
Yep.
Don't want the 3-guy platter. All right. We have to come up with a better name for that, by the way. All right. We're going to get out of here because we'll be back tomorrow before the games, which, by the way, speaking of the game, Broncos and Saints. Thrilling or not, you know what would be thrilling if you win your first pick on Underdog, because if you get Bo Nix going higher than 0.5 total yards, you take that pick and you win. That's a freebie. Just combine it with any other pick or picks. And don't forget that it is Boosttober, which means you get profit boost tokens every single day till the end of the month. And you get that if you sign up on Underdog. If you haven't yet, try it out. Just use code ENDGAME when you first do check out. Make sure you use that promo code right there, ENDGAME, because it also gets you up to $1,000 of bonus cash on your first deposit. So check it out. It's definitely worth it. All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see you again on the next one. Don't forget, Start and Sit videos are all out. And we've got more coming. Some of the players we just talked about, you can hear our more in-depth thoughts on them, why we like them, why we don't like others. So check all that out. All right. See you next one.